Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about everything financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about the best business credit cards for your small business in 2024. And for this video, I just wanted to make a comprehensive list of all the cards that I have gotten in 2024 for business. Now, this is going to be 9 videos. I've gotten 9 cards over the past, I want to say 6 months, because the first one was in February. We are currently in July of 2024. So the past 6 months, these are all the cards that I have gotten. Now, in the future, I don't plan on getting any cards this year, but then I also said that I think around April, and then I end up getting more cards. So it just depends on what offers are available. Some of the cards became, available later on. And then some things had offers that just so happened to suit my needs as time went on. So without further ado, I'm going to get into all of the cards that I've gotten. We'll talk about the limits, and then we're going to talk about each of the videos that will be a part of this one video. Please pay attention to the timestamps. If you want to skip this section of the video, then you can, but there are some details that I want to provide about each video because some things have changed since then, and then I don't want to have to ask the same question and all the information was already here. So please, if you can stick around, do so. If you want to just jump ahead, then you can by clicking the timestamps. All right, so let's talk about the cards that I do have. This is not the order of the actual videos. Please refer to the timestamps if you want the order for the videos. Now, the cards that we're going to be talking about will be the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, Wells Fargo Signify Business Card, the GM Marcus Card, the American Express Business Blue Cash Card, the American Express Amazon Business Card, the Amex Platinum Card Business, of course, Amex Gold Business, the Chase Ink Cash Business Card, and the Navy Federal Gold Biz Rewards Card. Now, the Sam's Club card, the limits I'm going to be talking about now are my current limits to date. Some of the videos may have conflicting information, so just be aware that this information is new. So those videos are old. They've been the videos throughout the year. So on the Sam's Club Business card, that one I currently have a limit of 15,000. On the video that I made for that card, everything is good for that video. I actually show you step by step how to get that card with no personal guarantee. For me, because I went through the process of taking care of my credit, I did not do a no PG card. Instead, I did personally guarantee it. When you do the PG and you guarantee that card, you can process the application online. You cannot process the application online for no PG. That was my mistake. When I originally got this card, I had it with no PG, and I always had to go in store. There was never an option, even with a personal guarantee, to do it online. So when I saw that feature and I was going through the process of making the video, I made a mistake and I was doing it the same way that I did originally. I also did not go through the process of actually putting in the application because I already had the card. If I did that, I would have caught that mistake. So just so you know, for that process, if you are doing it with no PG, you do need to go into a Sam's Club in order to do this. If you are processing that with a PG, and maybe you're like me and you don't need to worry about doing it with no PG, you can do it online and save yourself a trip to Sam's Club. In that video, I go over how to get that card with the PG, without a PG, what you can expect, how to build business credit. It's all there. It's a very comprehensive video. You can get everything that you need in order to get that card with or without a personal guarantee. And the next card is the Wells Fargo Biz card. That's a video that, and you guys may or may not know, I say it sometimes, depends on if you're new to this channel. I make videos well in advance. I have videos almost all the way out to now October of 2024. And it is currently July. I do about 6 videos per week. I make myself stay dedicated to my schedule. So some of these videos that you're looking at, I haven't even put out yet. And by the time you see this, if it's July right now, you may not be seeing this until September, knowing how I put out videos. But the reason why I bring that up is because if anything changes in between that time, just know that this may be dated. It just happens. That's just the nature of, I guess, when I'm doing this. But Wells Fargo Biz Card, I have a $5,000 limit currently. It's a 0% APR card at the time of recording this video. You may want to check that out to see if it's an offer that's still available for you. I go over, why I think I got the $5,000 limit, but how you can raise that if you're looking to get it maybe to 10, 15, even, $20,000. Now, the GM Marcus card, it's $8,000. Again, more updated information. It is a soft pull from your Equifax personal side. When I did that, they did the soft pull. I then had to wait a day for them to call me and tell me that I was approved. I then put the freeze back onto my credit. I did not get a hard inquiry. You can use that same method if you don't want to get a hard inquiry whatsoever. You also know that we have videos on here that show you how to remove hard inquiries. So you would need to go back and freeze it in order for you not to get one. It's a soft inquiry, and they usually will call you later in order to let you know that you were approved. And they'll let you know what your credit limit is when you do apply. All right. So the next one we're looking at is the Amex Business Blue Cash Card, $10,000. Another video I was talking about cards with high limits. I actually say it in that video because I just made that video today. So in that video, I let you know that it's not a guarantee that you will get $10,000 for your starting limit. People were letting me know that they had $2,000. I give you a strategy to raise the limit on that card, so you can check that out. It's all there. The Amex Amazon Biz Card was my second American Express. I got it about 2 weeks after my original one. I did the application only a couple days apart. I go into detail about that. Started off with the $12,000 limit. The Amex Platinum is a charge card with a $75,000 pay over time balance. Okay. The Amex Platinum Charge Card has no actual limit. It's a flexible spend limit, but I can carry a balance of $75,000 over time. Now, the Amex Gold Card is the same thing. It was a charge card. My pay over time limit was not as high, but over the months it did raise up. But I ended up just doing a product change from the gold to the platinum, but I have had both. The Chase Inc. card, when I first got that one, it was a very low $1,000 limit. It is now a $5,000 limit. 0% APR card, 5% cash back. I just made a video on that today, but I've had that card for a long time. I think that was like my third card or something like that. So I've had it for a very, very long time. Did some things why I knew why my limit was low. Did some things, got it raised. So that's good, right? Navy Federal Go Biz. It's actually going to be the last video because it was my first video. That was the first business card that I got this year in February. $25,000 limit now. Started with $15,000, but was able to raise that. So these are all the cards that I actually have gotten. Okay. And the total limit that I do have with these cards currently is $80,000 in total. $80,000. Now, if you include the pay over time limit for the Amex Platinum, it is access to $155,000 in credit limit. So just if you wanted to know, that is the total that I have technically access to, but revolving is 80,000. And a good amount of it is 0% APR. I would at least say about 35,000 of it is 0% APR. So these are the credit cards that I'm going to recommend that you get. Again, I have various videos that are going to talk about why. I have one video in particular that I recorded where I talk about 4 of these cards, and I go into detail about why I got those particular ones at the time. Unfortunately, now I haven't even released that one yet, but it's so dated that I had to come back and do this one. But the benefits are not dated. The benefits still apply. So I recommend checking that out if you want to know some other reasons to have these cards other than just having limits. Yeah, other than that, just on a personal note, even though I have access to all this limit, I can promise you that I barely used it. Like I've told people in business coachings, I think you'll start to understand when you start making money that it's not the smartest thing to just start using business credit cards to make money before you're already making money another way. So if if you're working, just make sure that whatever amount you spend, you have the ability to pay back. Don't spend $25,000 if you don't have $25,000 in the bank. That's just my recommendation. Again, you can take as much risk as you want. If you believe that what you're doing is just, it makes sense. Who am I to tell you what to do? But that's just my recommendation because things can go bad very quickly. That's how I ended up messing up my credit and having to start, and it set me back about 2 years. So that's just my advice to you. But again, take my advice with a grain of salt. You can do whatever it is that you choose to do. It is up to you. I do want to make sure that everyone is successful. So again, it's not just about having high limits. Be responsible, take your time, think it through, make sure that you can actually afford to pay this stuff back if you were to default. And if the answer is no to that question, again, my recommendation, don't do it. Other than that, I have a plan for a lot of my 0% APR cards. I will probably be going into detail about that in the near future. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions or concerns, please drop them at the bottom of the video. And, I'll answer that as quickly as possible as I can. And you guys have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about everything financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about the American Express Blue Business Cash Card. This is probably the most underrated business credit card of 2024. And I was able to get this card with a starting limit of $10,000. I do want to make a correction. There was another video where I talked about cards that were guaranteed $10,000 limits. This was supposed to be one of the cards. You can actually have a smaller starting limit for this particular card. It cannot be guaranteed to be $10,000. So I did want to make that correction. Now, with that said, there is a trick that I'm going to give you at the end of the video. And one of my recommendations to actually get a higher limit for this particular credit card and the things that I understand from talking to a representative with American Express. So before we go into that, I do want to talk about the benefits of this card, why I think that it is underrated, and why this is going to become one of the most important cards to me by the end of the year around Q4. Now, for this card, it has no annual fee. That's one of the best things. The other Amex cards that I've had is the Gold, the Platinum, with annual fees as high as $695. Now, I do have another video that by the time you watch this, it should be released, where I talk about the Amex Platinum and how those fees can somewhat be justified. But this one, no annual fee. It also has the benefit of being a 0% introductory APR for 12 months for your purchases, and that's going to be from the date of opening. After that, your APR will be at a variable rate of 18.49% to 26.49% based on your credit worthiness and other factors as determined at the time of account opening. There is this really huge advantage that you get with this card. I do want to come back to that advantage in a second. Now, you do earn a welcome offer bonus. At the time of recording, you can earn $250 in statement credit after you make $3,000 in purchases on your card in the first 3 months. Now, if you go to the website and you notice that there's another offer for $300 cash back for $6,000, I have been seeing that. It seems like it can vary depending on the offer that you select when you apply. I'm not really sure why there's so many different offers with American Express cards, but for this one, this is the one that I actually got offered. So if you do spend $3,000 within the first 3 months, you will get $250 cash back. If we look at some of the additional features here, there is 2% cash back on all eligible purchases up to $50,000 per calendar year. That is a huge benefit. Now, one drawback, I would say, the 2% that you actually get back, it's only in statement credit. You do not get cash back. There's another card that's also very good, the Wells Fargo Signify card. That one gives you 2% cash back that you can actually redeem and deposit into your bank account. Unfortunately, for this card, it is only a statement credit, so you should keep that in mind. It's also only up to $50,000 per calendar year. On the Wells Fargo one, there is no cap. And after that, it's 1% on purchases thereafter. Cash back earned is automatically credited to your statement. All right. There are some travel benefits, but if you have any other travel cards, these will just come basically standard for you. Car rental, loss and damage insurance, also global assistant. The shopping benefits that you have here, will be extended warranty. So when you use your card on eligible purchases, you can cover any extra manufacturer warranties that will apply for 5 years. And there are some stipulations, so you will want to read the terms and conditions there. So again, you want to read those exclusions and restrictions. They'll let you know exactly what those are. So purchase protection. You'll also get protection if, let's say, your new camera was stolen, you knocked over your new lamp moving a couch, anything unexpected happened, you will be covered for those purchases, and that is up to 90 days from the covered purchase date. And then, of course, you want to read the exclusions and restrictions, and then American Express experiences. So you can stay in the know with exclusive access to ticket pre-sales. If you are familiar with all the pre-sales that Amex does offer, you get that benefit. Sometimes it's concerts, sometimes it's shows. And I'm going to tell you now why this is going to be one of the most important cards for any small business owner or any business owner, period, especially if you do some of the similar things that I do to earn extra money. So with this card, there are some people that have said on a previous video that this card has a limit as low as $2,000. Now, here is a strategy that I think you can use in order to actually increase that limit. So if you were to apply for the Amex Business Cash Card, from my understanding, the reason why this card normally starts out at a low limit is because it's a 0% APR card. It has the option of flexible spend. So on this card, you can actually spend a little bit more than the limit that they give you, the initial limit. However, that has to be approved by American Express. And normally for this card, if you don't have any type of relationship with them and you apply for it and you do get approved, they're usually going to start you off at a lower limit. So one option that you have, one, build a relationship with American Express. I would go for a different product first and then get this one. This is what I would also recommend. One of my my first American Express card was a gold charge card. Doesn't have a revolving limit, doesn't have the same restrictions as a revolving limit card. The next one that I got was the American Express Business Prime card. When you spend that card with Amazon Prime, you can get 5% cash back, well, 5% back to the card. Now, that one I got with a $12,000 limit. If you want to get the Amex Blue Cash card with a high limit and you don't have a relationship with American Express, my recommendation is to get the Business Prime card first. Reason being, they give more limit for that card. They give higher limit for that card. I think it's because it's not a 0% APR card. From my understanding from speaking to American Express, they normally will give you more, especially being new. For me, $12,000 off the bat. Then if you were to get the American Express Business Cash card, you can then move the limit over from that Prime card over to this one. So that would be my recommendation. If you're going to, be looking at getting the Business Cash, maybe start with the Prime first, the Amex Prime. Take the limit from that one, move it on to this one. That way, whatever limit that they give you, you can add that limit on to a 0% APR card. And again, that's the trick. In my opinion, it's a really good strategy in order for you to be able to get a higher limit on this card if they do not give it to you. I would start with that one first, then move on to this one, and then just move the limit over. If you did request a credit limit increase, you will have to wait 60 days in order to do this. On initial card opening, you may have to wait the 60 days. I didn't have to, do anything like that, but I am going to move probably $10,000 over from my Prime card over to this one. That way it can be 20,000. It'll be a much higher limit. And why I was saying this may be one of the most important cards that you have all year, or the most underrated card that you could possibly get if you do this same strategy, I'm going to buy inventory towards the end of the year that I'm going to be using for Amazon FBA. I will then have 0% APR for a very long amount of time with this card. And I was able to just move that limit over there. So now I can have access to $20,000, 0% APR for around 8 to 9 months, which for me is more than enough time. I know my inventory, very familiar. So that is going to be one of the most important things to me. 2% cashback statement credit, not to mention good profit margins. And it is the reason why I got this card in the first place. And the reason why I got it early, I have another American Express video where I talk about the do's and don'ts. One of the things that you do not want to do with a Amex card, you do not want to just get the card and start high spending. If you get this card and start trying to spend $10,000 off the bat, it will raise a red flag. They will ask for documentation, which is why I got the card a few months earlier. I'm going to get the card warmed up. I'm going to start with small transactions. Then I'm going to make larger transactions. And I'm going to keep doing it that way to gradually raise how much I'm spending on this card. That way, when the time comes when I want to make a big purchase for my inventory, the spend will not look abnormal. The spend will look on par with what I've been doing this whole time. And I've built up a little bit of equity from being able to use this card in that short period of time. So I recommend you use a similar strategy. If you want to use this card for 0% APR, maybe look at, again, Amazon Prime card. They seem to give out higher limits. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying for my first two cards, Gold and then the Prime, they gave me a very high limit for revolving off the bat. And I had to do a review for 2 weeks. I didn't get the card immediately. It took 2 weeks for me to get the card and got it with that $12,000 limit. So, even with that scrutiny, I was able to get the card with a high limit. You can then get the same card. I will recommend doing this at least 90 days in advance. So yes, you do lose about 90 days on your 0% APR, but it's worth it because you're getting this prepared. Do the high, start using it, get it warmed up, move the credit line over. You can have a higher line on this card, and then whatever you need to do for the remaining time frame is to your discretion. So that's my strategy. That's what I'm going to be doing with this card. I think it's amazing. I think it's, again, highly underrated. I don't think it's spoken about enough, and it's definitely going to be one of my favorite business credit cards for the remainder of 2024. I think between this and the Wells Fargo Signify card, this is my really big matchup. Like, these two are just going to be like my go-to cards for the end of the year, for Q4, for e-commerce. These are my go-to guys. And then I also still have Marcus, of course, with 0% APR, the Chase Ink card with 0% APR, and a couple of other options that don't have 0% APR. But if I want to use more limit, I do have that. Do have Navy Federal. Do have the Amex Platinum. There's a couple of different options that I can lean on. But the 0% APR ones that I now have 3 of those, around 25,000 easily. No, around 35,000, I guess, easily between all of them now, right around there. So should be well equipped for the end of the year. And I think I'm going to document that process and let you guys see exactly what I do, how it starts and then how it finishes. So, maybe you can do a similar thing. All right. If you have any questions or concerns, please drop a comment below. More than likely, I'm going to do a compilation where I talk about all of these cards and just make it to where you can see them back to back. And this will be all of the business credit cards that I have for 2024, all the ones that I recommend for you. And if you have any other cards that maybe you want me to apply for or you have questions about, please drop a comment below. If you have this card, let me know the limit that you got when you received this card. Let me know if you also have that Amazon card and then you got that one with the higher limit. And if you weren't aware, you can move that limit over. So if that was good information, good strategy that you may implement, then let me know in the comments. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day and thank you for watching. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about all things financial literacy. And today we're going to be looking at the Wells Fargo Signify Business Cash Card. This is a card that has a $20,000 initial starting limit. It's a business credit card that I actually applied for when it first released. So this is a brand new card by Wells Fargo. When I first opened up my checking account with Wells Fargo, I believe it was towards the very end of March or the beginning of April. I asked them if they had any credit options. At the time, the only thing that they had was an actual business line of credit. but the interest rate on that business line of credit was pretty high. So I wasn't really interested in it. The only reason why I set up the account with Wells Fargo was to test the results of early warning. I had some information I needed to remove. If you haven't seen that video, there's a video on that if you need help with that. But it just confirmed that I was able to open an account with Wells Fargo. And so it was the second or third business checking account and savings account that I opened. And I actually was going to close the account a few weeks later, but then I found out that this card had actually been released. And I was like, okay, well, there's a product that I can actually get behind. So that's how I was able to first apply for this card. When I initially had applied for the card, I wasn't denied, but I would put in the application and I wouldn't even get a hard inquiry. I'm going to talk about exactly what happened. I'm going to talk about the limit that I was approved for, and then how you can get a starting limit of $20,000 for this Wells Fargo business credit card, and the benefits of this card and why I think it would actually benefit anyone who's starting a business. All right, so let's get right into it. Now, let's talk about some data points really quick. For this credit card, again, this is a brand new card, so a lot of these data points, I'm just giving you what I had on my credit report, because again, it's a brand new card, so there's not a lot of information in regards to qualification. So for the credit score requirements, I would say, based off of some of the Wells Fargo personal cards, you want to have a 700 credit score or better, 700 plus. I would say no derogatory marks, no late payments, no collections, no charge-offs. This was in line with some of the other Wells Fargo personal credit cards. They tend to have a higher criteria for qualifications. Now, credit pulls. This card will pull from your personal experience score. Now, it could be regional. I'm in Nevada. I would say one of the easiest ways to test this: freeze both TransUnion and Equifax, leave your Experian open, then apply for the card. I also want to note that when you apply for this card, at least in my case, I've applied for this card, I think maybe 4 times. For the first 3 times that I applied, I didn't get a hard inquiry. I'll go into that why. When I actually was able to apply for the card and get a hard inquiry, it takes about, I want to say, like 1 hour before you get the hard inquiry. I never got an instant approval. They always gave me an email where they were telling me basically wait and you'll get a response from us soon. And then the very next day, when I did get approved for the card, I just saw the card on my Wells Fargo account. I didn't even get an approval email. I just had the card, and I was able to add it to Apple Pay, through the Wells Fargo app. So that was pretty much it. But as far as I know, at least right now, there's no instant approval. You'll get an email letting you know that they're processing your application. Once that happens, an hour later, you'll probably see the hard inquiry. And then I would say within 24 hours, you probably can see, or you probably would get the approval via probably the app. Again, I didn't get an email. I didn't get a notification. I just saw it on the app, and it was there. I was able to add it to my Apple Pay. Now with the pool, it pulls from Experian. Your utilization should be 10% or less. On my 3rd attempt with this card, I had a personal credit card that I had just got. And this personal credit card has been giving me a hard time. I was actually a little upset. I probably should have waited to get it, but it reduced my average account age. So my average account age was less than 2 years. The 3rd time that I applied, when I got denied, or real denial this time, it was because of my average account age. I had a recent account and my utilization was too high. On that personal card, the utilization was 35%. It was accidental. Every day, this credit card was weird. It was updating the utilization every single day. It was just changing every day. I would use it. It would change. Eventually, when the cycle date closes, I didn't know what the cycle date was. It stopped where I had 35%. That stayed for a month. Of course, that decreased my score. And of course, it affected trying to apply for this card. So that gave me some trouble. What I would recommend for you, utilization, 10% or less. Your average account age, 2 years, or I would at least say your most recent account should be, like don't have any recent accounts. I would say maybe apply after you've had a new account for like 3 months or so. And also no recent inquiries. So it's not so much that you can't have inquiries. You don't want to have recent ones. So if you have 2 inquiries on your credit report, but they're from a year ago, that's fine. If you have 2 inquiries that are on your report, but they're from last month or the same month, you might want to wait at least a month or so before you apply for the card. And, these are just things that I'm just letting you know because it's a brand new card. Things that I noticed that I got denied for. And then this is the other thing. If your Wells Fargo account is open for less than 90 days, you will need to go into a branch and apply for this card. So the first 2 times I got denied for this card, I never got a hard inquiry. I thought it was weird. The reason why, and even when I called customer service, no one told me this. You have to have the account, your account, your checking, your savings has to be open for 3 months from that initial date that you opened it, 90 days, but 3 months, right? You need to have it open. If not, you will automatically be denied. They won't even pull your credit. You won't get a hard inquiry. You have to go into a branch and apply for it prior to that time. If you do, then you will be good. Another thing too, because I had applied for this credit card so many different times, the 4th time I applied, I just did it without really, thinking too much about it because I had done it so many times. It was like, oh, okay, I'll just remove this hard inquiry. Worst case, I wasn't putting any deposits into this Wells Fargo account. Unfortunately, I was not. I think that is the biggest reason why I was not able to get the $20,000 initial starting limit. My starting limit was $5,000. If I would have known beforehand, I would have been making the deposits. Again, this card wasn't even in existence. I was just getting this account just to test something, and I was going to close it. When the card got there, again, I wasn't like preparing for this product. I didn't know. Now, the reason why I put the $20,000 on this video is because when I called Wells Fargo, I was trying to see if they could possibly raise my limit. They weren't able to, but I was just trying to get some information that I can provide. I asked them, what is the highest initial starting limit that you have for, clients that have been banking with you for a while? The representative that I spoke with told me that $20,000, they've seen that limit. They've also seen higher, but around $20,000 had seemed to be the average. So here is what I think, based off of that conversation, based off of what happened with me, and based off of other information that I was able to find. Again, this is a new credit card at the time of recording this video, so the information's kind of limited. People who seem to deposit at least $500 into this account were getting an average of like $10,000 for their credit limit. People like me who weren't putting anything into this account, just had it open, were getting like the bare minimum. I think the bare minimum for this card is $5,000. And then people who were putting in more than $500 or had consistent deposits, they're looking at between $15,000, $20,000. And then if you've been with Wells Fargo even longer, you may have a higher limit depending on if you have other high limit credit cards on your credit profile. So if you have higher limit credit cards on your profile, you get a business account with Wells Fargo, you make a deposit of $500, you may get $10,000. If you wait 90 days, make some deposits, maybe $500 every month, get it to like $1,500, then you may get $20,000, $15,000 to $20,000 or above. So this is what I am estimating. Again, this is a brand new card. No data points on there. It's not really any information that you can research, but from my many attempts, from what I've gathered with other videos, I think that's about where you would be at based off of these things. So 700 plus or better credit score. Of course, no derogatory marks, no late payments, no collections, no charge-offs. You want to have 10% or less utilization with the average account age of 2 years or more. No recent inquiries in the last 6 months, I would say. That should get you a $20,000 Wells Fargo credit limit. And then we're going to go into, and of course, your account being open for 90 days at the least if it's a brand new business account. Now, I want to go over some of the benefits of this card and who I think it will benefit in using it and what offers they have currently. All right, so we are on the Wells Fargo website, and this is the welcome page for the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo. Right now, if you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months, you can earn $500 in cash reward bonus. There's no annual fee on this card, which is amazing because I've been using my Amex Gold and I've been using it for restaurants. In my opinion, I've been using it exactly for, what I would get the most points on. I feel like for this type of card, when I'm going to various other places and spending money, it has a flat 2% cash back. This is very hard to find. And I think I have the Amex Gold for business. I have the Amazon Prime for business. I have the Sam's Club Mastercard for business. And I have another video that surprisingly I did months ago but haven't put out yet, where I talk about the best business credit cards. I talk about how all of these credit cards give me like anywhere between like 3 to 5% cash back, and how I'm making so much money while spending money. The one thing I needed, like no matter how many cards you look for, there's no 3% cash back card on everything. The best that you could hope for, which has become like a standard, is about 2%. This is one of the best cashback cards with no limits that you could get for being a business credit card, not to mention no annual fee. It's amazing. And honestly, no matter what type of business that you have, if you can get 2% cashback, this card definitely needs to be in your arsenal. Then I get 5% back for gas. Then I can get 4% back for restaurants and dining with the Amex Gold. And I get 5%, or not 5% cash back. It's points. Excuse me. It's points with Amex, but the way that I do my points, I basically use them like I reimburse myself for cash. Like I use my points to pay for something, give myself cash back. Same thing with the Amazon Prime card. It's basically points, but it's 5% back in points. I just use it for whatever and then reimburse myself back with cash. So for me, it's the same thing as cash back. And if you have, all of these cards where basically every time you spend money, you could get 4 to 5% cash back, that's amazing. And then to have this one now where I could get 2% cash back on everything. So if there's any category that I, for whatever reason, don't have covered with one of my other cards, this is going to be the one. I could use it for everything. So no matter what you're doing, I feel like this will benefit anyone. So it's unlimited 2% cash back on purchases made for your business with no categories to track, no limit to the amount. That's amazing. No annual fee. And of course, 0% APR for 12 months. And I'm going to also talk about why I wanted this card right now. Now, I have a plan in which I'll probably put this into a new video in the future, but I have a plan towards the end of the year where I'm going to show you how you can make $100,000 easily, probably in the next like 6 months. And this is something that honestly anyone can do as long as you have good credit and you have a business credit card with 0% APR. I mean, it's going to be good. But I did a video on American Express, and the video talks about the mistakes that you don't want to make. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. But when you get these new cards, sometimes you want to warm them up. And what I mean by that is when you get a brand new 0% APR card, you don't want to make a large purchase on it right away. You want to take a few months, and I would say use the card, spend it normally, pay it back, and then spend it gradually and increase your spend. Then if you have it for at least 90 days, a little bit longer, you can submit a credit line increase request, and then it would not look weird or strike any red flags or have them request documentation if you're spending something excessively. You want to work your way up to it. So I did want to have some time to kind of warm this card up, especially because the 2% cash back will come in handy for the amount that I plan to spend. So, I mean, this one for me was a very big surprise. Like, it was a very, very I'm going to use this card to do a lot with towards the end of the year, but it just caught me off guard because, again, I didn't plan for this card. I didn't know that this card was in existence. It actually is going to be a huge asset. Only thing I wish is I would have done more to secure a higher credit line. So, but it's okay. I already have a plan for, I'll get the welcome bonus, nice $500 bonus. I'll definitely spend $5,000 in the next 3 months. And with that being said, once that happens, I'm going to use it wisely to increase the limit. And, this will probably be like my daily spend card between the things that don't give me higher cash back or higher points back. Anything else, this is going to be the one that I'm going to use. So I highly, highly recommend. I do think that this card can benefit anyone, not only business. This can just benefit you in the day-to-day average transactions, just being able to earn those rewards, not to mention the 0% APR. So I think that will pretty much cover all of the features and benefits that I wanted to go over for this card. If you go onto the website and check out this cashback calculator, I want to see, I probably plan to spend I would say right around 25,000 is probably good. So check this out. Just if I do spend $25,000 on this card, I'll make $6,000 cash back anyway. So this is gonna trust me when I say I'm gonna make a video later on this where I'm gonna show you what I'm going to do to spend money to not only make a lot of money back, but on top of that, now I can get $6,000 cash back. Man, this is going to be a really, really, really good card to add. I highly recommend it. If you don't have a relationship with Wells Fargo, it was very easy for me to open an account with them. I definitely recommend doing that, starting this process, getting this credit card, adding it to what you currently have, and then just be on the lookout for when I make that video. Probably will not be until the fall, but I'm going to document the whole process. And it'll actually go with one of my other videos that isn't very popular on this channel, but it's nice because it's going to be a callback to that video. And I think I want to show you from start to finish exactly what I do. And just so that if you decide to do the same thing, you are able to do the same thing. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if there's any other cards that I should look at. At this point, I've said this before, but I think I'm done with business credit cards, at least until the fall. I think I may grab 2 more. One account I've been nurturing is with PNC. I haven't done anything with PNC yet. And the other account that I may look at is something else with American Express. I may get 1 more with them. But other than that, I think I'm just about done. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If there's any other cards that you think I should review or look at, I can definitely do that. But again, this is one that I think that you should definitely add. If you are able to get approved for this card and you used the information from this video to do it, I would love to hear what limits you're getting approved for. Please drop that in the comments. And also let me know if you already have this card, what limits you were approved for, anything that you did, so that I can help someone else, so that way they don't have to be like me and start off with this low limit. So just share the information in the comments. And thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Amex Business Platinum card and how to get approved. So on this card, I do have a $75,000 pay over time limit. I'm going to explain exactly what that entails. But more importantly than me even discussing that and how to get approved, I want to make sure that this card actually will suit your business needs. And it'll benefit you in the long run, because there is a lot of advantages to having this particular card for your business. And I just want to make sure that you're going to be able to receive the full benefits for that. So first, let's go over that. And then we'll also go over how to get approved and how I was approved for this card. All right, so let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the annual fee with the American Express Business Platinum. The annual fee is $695. And the employee fee, if you decide to add an employee on here, and I do have an additional employee card, it's $350 for the annual fee. Now, while that does seem very steep, if you're running a business, you're going to start to see how this can actually offset. There's a lot of benefits where it'll offset the cost. And you just have to understand that this really is a card meant for business owners to take advantage of. So ultimately, you definitely want to be able to get the most out of this card, or there are some alternative options for American Express cards. So let's talk about a few of these benefits. One of them is going to be the sign-up bonus. So right now, the sign-up bonus is 200,000 points. That's membership reward points after you spend $20,000 in eligible purchases on the card within the first 3 months of card membership. Now, again, if that price seems very steep, like you're thinking, how am I going to spend $20,000? Then again, this card is made for business owners. That's it. That's the purpose of it, to spend high. It's a premium card for American Express. So this offer, it may not be available at the time of this video. My recommendation is to always check the website. As you can see, they'll calculate exactly what 10,000 points looks like. So you can actually go all the way to 100,000, but that's the highest that they'll go. So if you were to pay with your points at checkout for Amazon, the points are worth $700. And as you scroll down, you can start to see exactly how the points are able to convert. You can kind of see how much it'll redeem for Amazon. So you're looking at $1,400. If you look at gift cards, if you were looking at ones for the Fairmount Hotels and Resorts, it's $1,000 for the value. Airbnb, it's $700 for the value. So it can be up to $1,000 for that point value. And that's for 100,000. So of course, if you had the 200,000, you would double that, which would be for Fairmount Hotels and Resorts, $2,000, so on and so forth. Because we're only looking at what 100,000 points are, it would be double that. For a statement credit, it's $600 or $1,200. So if you spend 20,000 for a statement credit, you're looking at $1,200. That's the reason why it's important to know how these points convert. Because if you don't know how they convert, you may miss some value. Now, booking travel will probably give you some of the maximum value. Like if you're looking at flights to redeem and you have 100,000 points, it's $1,000. For that bonus that you would get of 200,000, you would get $2,000 to redeem that you can use. So you can check out this calculator online, but I just wanted to make sure that you understood what the breakdown was and how it can be different depending on exactly which way you like to redeem. If you do end up getting that spin bonus for that 200,000 points by spending that $20,000 within the first 3 statement cycles. American Express has partnered with a couple of leading brands to really provide a top-notch experience for your business. We're looking at Dell, Adobe, Indeed, and Clear. So we'll go to the website and check these out, just so I want to give you all the benefits that you actually get, so you understand how, even though this card has such a high annual fee, you get a lot out of it if you use it properly. So currently we're on the website for the Business Platinum card. And as you can see, for this card, it's geared towards travel for business. And then there are a couple of other things that you can get from it. So if we go here and we're looking at Dell Technologies, upgrade your tech and enhance your business. You can enroll and actually get up to $400 in statement credit. It's a $200 semi-annual credit. So on any U.S. purchase with Dell Technologies on the Business Platinum card, you can get that $200 semi-annually. So you can go to Dell and take a look and see what you can actually get, but it'll be about $400. So you might need, whether it's ink cartridges, whatever. If you were going to spend that money anyway, and you paid $695 for an annual fee, that's $400 that you could recoup. So if you're going to spend it anyway, it's almost like you're getting reimbursed for it. Indeed, you get a $360 Indeed credit to build your team and grow your business, and you can enroll and get up to $90 in statement credits per quarter for your purchases with Indeed on this card. Now, that's only if you were going to use that. That may or may not benefit you, but if you needed to hire employees and you wanted to use this to build your team, definitely a great option. Now, Adobe, I want to clarify with this. This isn't like for you to get like Adobe Premiere or something of that nature. This is for the Adobe Business Plan. And the Adobe Business Plan is somewhere around $1,000 per month. So just keep that in mind. This is not for just regular Adobe. But you can get up to $150 in statement credit for eligible prepaid business plan purchases of Adobe Creative Cloud for teams. So make sure that you're looking at that. It's just not going to be the regular Adobe. It has to be for the team. Wireless credit. And this one will apply to almost everybody, but you can get $120, which would be $10 per month for your wireless telephone services. So if you were to spend, pay your phone bill with this card, you get $10 back per month. It's going to total up to $120. So as you can see, there's a lot of benefits here that will start to give reason to why the annual fee is so high. But if you take advantage of it, then you can make it make sense. Now, Clear Plus, if you've ever traveled, Clear helps you get to your gate faster. It's like the TSA PreCheck. You can get up to $189 statement credit, and you can cover the cost of the Plus membership. And that's per calendar year. So it's not just a one-time thing. You can do this per calendar year. Now, that is one thing that I actually enjoy. I do pay for PreCheck. So now I can just say, $189. That completely covers it. So if you are someone who travels and you can see the benefit of this, I recommend you definitely using that when you get the card. Global Lounge. If you've ever traveled and you've seen any of the lounges for American Express, they are really, really nice. It's over 1,400 plus airport lounges. They have amenities like free food, and a place for you to kind of sit down and relax while you're waiting to board your flight. That is something that if you've ever been at an airport, especially if you had a long layover, it's really nice to be able to have that option. You can also get global dining access. So you get a personal dining concierge. It's at your fingertips, and you can access this. This is something that I've personally never used, but if you've ever traveled internationally, wanted to use that, it is really, really cool. Now, Fine Hotels and Resorts. So you can get, it's like a total value of $600 that you can actually get in perks like breakfast, early checkout, late checkout. It's all included for Fine Hotels and Resorts. Check the list to make sure that your hotel is included, but that's an additional perk that you get with this card. And then the cell phone protection, that's going to be up to $800. When you buy your cell phone with this card, you can get the protection for up to $800, and that's the cost of repair or to replace your damaged or stolen cell phone. So if you pay for a monthly fee for your cell phone with your provider for an insurance or a protection plan, and the phone is $800 or more if you just want the difference, you can use this card to cover the damage. I mean, that's pretty cool. So no matter how you look at it, there's a lot of benefits to you having this card. And this is almost over $1,500 worth of benefits depending on how you use them. And that's the reason why this annual fee is so high. I don't think I've seen a card with this many perks. Now, I also want to make mention of this. The Amex Platinum is a charge card. So if you looked at my community tab, I took a screenshot of the charge card when I was able to get it, and it showed an available limit of $75,000. I'm going to explain exactly what that actually means. So charge cards, they don't have any present spending limit. It does not mean that you have an unlimited limit. you want to actually contact Amex if you're going to spend a certain amount, like if it's a large amount, and you would let them know, and they'll let you know if you're approved to actually spend that limit. The limit that was showing in the community tab where I make my post was my pay over time limit, and it showed the maximum amount that I could actually pay over time. So to make it simple, if I wanted to, I could spend up to $75,000 and carry that balance over. Traditionally, charge cards were only you pay the balance in full and that's it. Now they've added some new features where you get this revolving option. So in a sense, it's almost like you have a limit without saying you have a limit. But 75,000 is how much I can carry over. Any charge that would cause my balance to exceed the pay over time limit must be paid in full each month. But of course, that pay over time comes with interest. I probably would never do that unless somehow I can make more than the interest I would pay on $75,000, which that would be a very unique scenario for, any one of us. But that's just to, give more context to the charge card and what that entails for a limit. Now, here are my tips for approval. Now, of course, this is a premium American Express card. You will need to have good to excellent credit. I would at least say a 680 plus. You need to have high income. When you're doing the application, you want to add high income. I also just did a video on American Express and things that you need to know when it comes to applying for their cards, and especially when it comes to running up high spend. So your income, it should be particularly high for this card, especially when you're listing your business. Now, this is all stated income. Technically, they're not asking for documentation unless you're putting anything above, I would say, $75,000. So I would try to, if you have the income, you have the income. I'm not saying that you should try to game it. Just make sure that you have it if you put it above 75,000. If not, just know that they may ask you for documentation. And one of my biggest tips that I want to talk about is a product change. This is what I did. I tried to get pre-approved at first for the platinum card. I was not pre-approved. And then I went down to the gold card. There were still some benefits with the gold card that at the time met my needs. I did another video on the Wells Fargo Signify business card. The needs that the gold card gave me kind of got replaced with the Wells Fargo card. So I kind of don't really need the gold card as much anymore, but I did need a travel card. This was a great option for me. So I started with an easier product or one that I could get approved for. You could do the exact same thing. Great thing about Amex, you don't have to impact your credit score. You can just get pre-approved first. Do that for the business card. Get pre-approved. And let's say you don't get the platinum. That's cool. Go down to the gold. You don't get the gold. Go down to the blue. Just keep going down until you actually find one that you're approved for. Now, what I would recommend that I did, I used it for 90 days and I made multiple transactions all the time. I ran up high. I think I spent over $10,000 within the first 90 days that I used that card because they had a welcome bonus. So I used over $10,000, but I kept making transactions and I made multiple payments. I just kept using it as much as I can, using it, paying it, but not for large transactions. Like maybe it was like the largest one may have been like $500. It was like 200 here, 300 here, 400 here, pay. And I just kept doing that for 90 days. Then I requested this product change and I was able to get it with no issue. So that would be my tip for approval. And it's the easiest way to work your way up to it. And they'll let you know if for whatever reason they're not able to do it. The great thing about the product change as well is that it's no hard inquiry. So if you take the one hard inquiry and if it's a business credit card, you know that we can remove the hard inquiry. Do that, take it, and then you have this option. I think that this is really good. Again, you could take a look at the personal platinum and see if it has anything that can help you. But this one will actually benefit me because I do plan to travel more as the year goes on and into next year. And I kind of want to take care of some of these additional benefits because I can definitely use them for me. And hopefully you can see that these things can actually apply to you. And that $695 annual fee can make sense because that is really high if you're not using this card for business purposes and doing a level of high spending on it that is conducive. You know, you really want to make sure that you're doing that high level of spend. Now, what I'm going to also add is a referral link. The referral link is going to be in the description. Hopefully that can, help if you're trying to apply for this card. So definitely check that out. I believe I have 4 of these, and then it does give me a kickback if you are approved. So just want to make note of that. But besides that, I do believe that it does help if you're referred by someone else who's already a member of American Express. So hopefully it helps and you get approved. So let's take a look at what the application for this card will look like. All right, so this is the application. You're going to enter in your email address. You're also going to enter your legal business name, the business name on the card, your company DBA that's doing business as, if you have an alternative name. If you don't worry about that. You're going to add your business address. If you have a suite or you have a particular additional unit number, you can add that here. Add your zip code, your business phone number, your industry type. And it could be just anything that's related to your industry, or pick other, and then they'll give you some other options that you can choose from. But you want to pick your structure, whether you're a corporation, a partnership, sole proprietorship, which you can be even as an individual. And you could put the amount of years that you've been in business, the number of employees, if you have any employees, your gross annual business revenue, and then your estimated monthly spend, just the average monthly business expenses that you plan to spend on that card. You can enter your role in the company. Take a look at those options there. And then you'll also want to enter your first name, your last name, middle initial, if applicable, the name you want on the card. So then your name. And if your home address is the same as your business, then you can just check that box there. You'll also want to enter your total annual income. And then if you're under the age of 21, you can include only your own income. Income includes wages, retirement income, investments, rental properties, etc. So you can add that in there as well, and then tell them where you want your statement sent, whether that be your business or your residential address. You'll be looking at the terms and conditions. Here are the current APR rates. Those are subject to change. And then you would see if you're approved. Very, very simple. Very straightforward application. And again, that referral link is in the description. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have this card, please let me know what's your favorite benefit about this card. If you haven't gotten this card yet, let me know which benefit will actually help you the most. Let me know if you were approved for it after watching this video, and just let me know if there's any other cards that you'd like me to take a look at, anything that maybe I need to apply for that I have not gotten yet. But with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your time, and you guys have a wonderful. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about everything financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about the Business Cash Ink card. I've had this card for, I think, approximately 4 months now. It has an amazing spend bonus on it. You can earn $350 after you spend $3,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. But after that, you get an additional $400 when you spend $6,000 on purchases in the first 6 months. Now, if you combine that by using the 5% cashback category, which that's all I've been using this card for, you can actually get $1,050 in cash back in 6 months with this particular card. So that is a really, really, really good offer. And it's still going on to date right now. So right now, at the time of recording this video, this is still applicable. If anything changes, please check the website and refer to that. This card has no annual fee, which is amazing. And you get 5% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases each year on your account anniversary. And that's going to be at office supply stores, on internet, cable, and phone services. I have made a old video that I haven't released yet. And in that video, I talk about how all of my cards give me a certain amount of cash back. With this particular card, you can get 5% cash back on your internet, cable, and phone bill. Everyone has this particular bill. My bill is pretty high. If you have, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, spouse, fiance, whoever, if you guys end up having separate bills, my recommendation is to combine all of your internet, cable, phone bills, put them all on this card. You should easily be able to spend up to $6,000 in total purchases within that 6-month time frame. And if you spend it on this additional category, you will get 5% cash back. You will earn 2% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at gas stations and restaurants. That's also very big. Or you earn 1% cash back on everything else. You also earn 5% cash back on Lyft rides through March 2025. That is going to expire, so you definitely want to take a look at that. And if you explore the benefits for business, there are 10% business relationship bonus offers. So if you have the Inc. Business Cash Card plus a Chase Business Checking, you will receive a one-time 10% bonus on all eligible cash back purchases earned in your first year. The offer is available for Inc. Business Cash Cards open between March and November of 2024. So you definitely want to get that Chase Business Checking account open so that way you can get up to 10% in cash back. There are also flexible redemption options to redeem for cash back, as far as gift cards, travel, and that's all going to be through the Chase Ultimate Rewards. And your cashback rewards don't expire as long as your account is open. They do have employee cards. You can, spend faster, earn more rewards. It's no additional cost to get that card, which is amazing because from some other particular banks, you may see that you have high annual fees for employee cards. So with this one being free, it's a no-brainer, especially with being able to get 10% back if you have a Chase checking account open with them for business. Now, there's a really cool calculator here. You can kind of break down exactly if you spend a certain amount of money, how much that you could potentially earn in cash back. And I think if you compare this to the Inc. Business Premier or even the Inc. Business Unlimited, you're going to find that this is one of the best offers for a brand new business or someone who is just starting to, get into maybe building equity for their company. Another thing that's really great about this card, which again, just to top it all off, it is a 0% APR card. Now, it was a 0% APR card at the time that I received it. Looking at this right now, I'm checking for that same offer. There we go. 0% APR on purchases in the first 12 months. After that, it is an APR of 18.49% to 24.49% variable. I mean, as you can see, the only other card that will give you something even close to that is going to be the Inc. Business Unlimited. That one will give you 1.5% cash back everywhere. So again, if you just tend to spend more on these things, you get 10% in business relationship bonus. I mean, that's a no-brainer. So if you have not applied for this card, this is also one of the cards that you can get without actually having a business. You can get this card as a sole proprietor. You do not need to have a business in order to get this card, as long as you are doing something to make money other than your regular work that you are a W-2 or contracted employee for. So if you wanted to apply, and I'm just bringing up the application now just to show you how simple that it actually is. You can pick owner, enter your first name, last name, and then you can actually enter either your individual tax ID or your social. If you are a sole proprietor, you would enter your social security number instead of entering a federal tax ID. And when you go to business info and they ask you for your legal structure, you can actually pick sole proprietorship. So knowing this, you can get this card with 0% APR, even if you have a side hustle, side business. Maybe you sell things online, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. You do Lyft, you do Uber, you do hair, you babysit, you walk dogs. I think you understand. There are many different things that you could do if you are doing them for income that they would qualify as a business, as a sole proprietor. All that means is that you have not chosen to incorporate legally yet. and you haven't chosen to separate the entities. So you'll still be doing this on a individual level, but you can still qualify for this credit card even if you do not have an LLC or a corporation. So I believe that's another, super big benefit that a lot of people don't talk about, but that you should definitely look into, even if you are, maybe not a traditional business. All right. So if you have any questions or concerns about this card, please leave a comment below. If you have this card, let me know how you're enjoying it. As far as what I'm using it for, it is serving its purpose to the fullest. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. I enjoy using it, and I definitely recommend that you combine this with that checking account to get that 5% bonus or that 10% bonus. Please leave a comment. Let me know exactly if there's any other card that you want me to talk about other than this. I do have some other upcoming videos about Chase, so be on the lookout for that. And other than that, thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Amex Business Gold Card, and excuse me for this video. I might actually go back and make another video on this one, but I was just approved for it yesterday. Did some research, and there were a couple things that I found out that I thought was interesting, and I really was curious to see if other people knew this information as well. So if I missed anything, again, excuse me. I may come back with a more in-depth video. The more that I use it, the more that I learn. But this is really just for letting you know the data points that I needed to get it, and some things that I just didn't know about the gold card that is very, very interesting to me. So we'll start with, first a couple of things about this card. Now, the American Express Business Gold, from what I learned that I didn't know, you don't necessarily need to have a business in order for you to get this card. You can actually get this card as a sole prop with no business whatsoever, which is very, very interesting. I didn't know that you can actually get 10 Amex cards between one account. So that's between personal and business. Also, if you do a hard inquiry, there is a 5-in-1 rule, and it's different for credit cards and for charge cards. For charge cards on American Express, you have to pay them within 30 days, and there are also some 60-day term options. The other one are regular credit cards that revolve, but it depends on which one that you actually have. But that 5-in-1 rule, I believe it applies to the charge cards. But again, still learning about the rules. I plan on applying for another Amex in the next 5 days, and I'll come with a video for that as well. It's probably going to be the Amex Prime card for Amazon, so I'll let you guys know how that goes as well. Now, what I did like about this card, and the main reason why I got it, you get 4x points depending on your category. And again, I've been mentioning today, I'm recording 3 videos in one day just because there's so many things I want to talk about. I like the reward points. I like the points. I like if I'm spending money, I can get cash back. I wanted to actually get this as my personal card, but then I would have had to keep that hard inquiry and it would show up on my personal credit report. So the great thing about the business one is it doesn't show up on your personal credit whatsoever. And as you know, we can remove the hard inquiry, so I can have no hard inquiry once I get this one and my other one. And I only get one hard inquiry for each Amex card that I apply for going forward. So I won't even get a hard inquiry for the next one that I plan to apply for. So you earn 4x membership reward points in 2 select categories where you spend the most. And that's up to 150,000 in combined purchases from these categories each year, which is great. You're never gonna probably spend that much in those each, and you might, I don't know, you might end up spending that much. Who's to say how much you're going to spend? But you also get 3x membership reward points on flight and prepaid hotels. And I look at the points as basically percentage, like 3%. 4%. That's how I see it. In those categories that I pick, I get 4%. on this card, one of the things that people might not like, which is why I saw a lot of people go for the blue Amex. This one does have a $75 annual fee. Each employee card is $95. So I did get one card, and I also did get an employee card. So I will have a $375 annual fee. Plus, I will also have a $95 annual fee for the employee card. I think that the rewards make up for that most definitely. And personally, I know that I'm going to be able to spend $10,000 in 3 months. So automatically, I'm going to get 150,000 points for spending $10,000 in 3 months. And so if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to double check it, but I believe that's going to be the equivalent of $1,500. So I'm going to spend $10,000, which I was going to spend anyway, and get $1,500 back, which I plan to put into my Amex high yield savings. All of my rewards that I get from my credit cards, I only spend money on credit cards now. I don't use debit cards for anything. I take those, I put them in a high yield savings. By the end of the year, I'll probably have $6,000 in reward points. And this card that's the main reason why I wanted this card. But the business one, again, it doesn't show up on your personal credit, so it's even better. One thing I also found out about, I use Walmart Plus. Walmart Plus members enjoy perks. You get a credit for your Walmart Plus membership account. That's pretty cool. And then the categories that you have: U.S. purchases at restaurants, gas stations, which is going to probably be a lot of the ones that I actually use, restaurants and gas stations. And then your wireless services, your phone bill. I am curious because it just says wireless telephone charges made directly from a wireless telephone provider. I have Cox for my internet. And as some of you might know, if you're familiar with Cox or if you have Comcast or such, they have phones now. So can I put my cable bill on here too? Like my internet bill? Curious, right? So I'll check up on that and see if that actually counts towards this category. But that would be great. The more things I can find. And it's U.S. purchases made from electronic goods, retailers, and software cloud systems. I have a lot of accounts that I've signed up for that I'm paying monthly for services and softwares and clouds and things like that. So, hey, a lot of that stuff is good. For travel, I didn't really look at this too much. There's no foreign transaction fees, which is good. You can book a flight and use the membership reward points for travel. I feel like there's other cards if I want travel. American Express has a Delta travel card that gives you a good amount of points. So I probably would go for something like that if I wanted to book travel. You still get 3 times the points if you do that, but I'm not really going to be worried about using it for that. Now, let's talk about the application process. So this is a quick tidbit. If you go on the American Express personal side, you can actually get pre-approved. If you get pre-approved on the personal side, I think it pretty much lets you know on the business side, you're going to be approved. So the great thing about it is you can go before I applied, I got pre-approved for a card on the personal. They're like, you're approved. If you want to continue, just continue. I didn't. Instead, I went to the business side like, oh, well, if they pre-approve me for the gold personal, they'll pre-approve me for the gold business, right? No problem. So I kind of already knew. So just so that if you're hesitant, again, a little trick. Go on the personal side first, check that one, and then come back to the business. I'm not saying that guarantees anything. I'm not saying that, but for me, it worked, and I believe that the two things are correlated. The other thing, I was asked what was my credit limit for this card, and I didn't know this, but for the Amex, there was no credit limit. So right here, where it says financial flexibility and the increased buying power for large business purchases, in the Amex account, it actually asked me how much do I want to spend on a purchase. I put 25,000. It said approved. I'm like, oh, okay. I put 50,000. It said approved. When I went above 50,000, it said I not approved, like I couldn't spend that much. So for all intents and purposes, since I don't actually have a limit on this card, let's just say that my limit is 50,000. Excuse me, because I don't have a limit. It doesn't say that. It just says flexible limit, which is, it's pretty cool because basically as I use it for purchases, I guess it'll fluctuate with my purchase. So I think what I'll do is do more research, and then in 90 days, I might come back and say, oh, I understand this a little bit more. I increased my amount that I wanted to spend. And then I can come back and let you guys know. But yeah, I don't have a limit for the card. And again, that's something that I personally did not know, but it's interesting to me now. APR is right around where the prime rate's at. So that depends on your credit worthiness. My business has been open for 29, 30 days. So that lets you know, didn't matter really if it was a brand new one. It goes off of personal mostly. Personal credit score pulled from Experian, nowhere else. It was a 759 score. I only have one hard inquiry besides this one, but I'm gonna remove it as soon as I get the other one. I'm removing this one, so I'll go back down to just one. And that's the other trick about business credit cards. When it's business, you can remove those hard inquiries because there's no account associated, right? Nice little trick. And the only thing that I really think that I want to go over, because we talked about the rewards, the incentives that you get on the initial opening of the card. I guess I want to go over the difference between the charge card and the credit card, which was to me one of the most important things that I did not know. So I'm on the American Express charge cards versus credit cards, and what's the difference? So it says, from hassle-free payments of your bills to your day-to-day shopping, credit and charge cards have become a convenient mode of payment. However, there's a difference between how both the cards work, and knowing about the difference will help you properly plan your purchases and spending needs. Because I didn't know this, and I thought it was the same. So a credit card lets you pay for a purchase without cash. Credit card offers a line of credit or a loan that allows you to make purchases and pay back the amount later. If you fail to pay back the balance in full, you are charged an interest. Okay. That's what we traditionally know. A charge card works like a credit card, but without offering the option of making part payment. You are required to pay the charge card in full by the due date. Charge cards offer a no preset spending limit. A no preset limit means that your charge cards are approved based on your spending pattern, your financials, your credit record, and your account history. So unbeknownst to me, the card that I got approved for was not a credit card per se. It was a charge card. Now for this card, because I plan on using it like a personal for points, that actually works lovely for me because I never plan on carrying a balance on this card at all. I plan on paying it in full, and knowing that I have that option to be able to spend up to that amount, it makes perfect sense for me and my life. But as I continue to get other Amex cards, which I plan on getting probably 2 more, I think it's the blue one, and then I plan on getting the Amazon one, and then if I get one for flight, maybe the Delta. But so far, that's it. And depending on how my situation changes, maybe the platinum, because they have a reward category for marketing, and I may end up doing a lot of marketing like TikTok ads, Instagram ads, and it gives you a nice bonus. At that point, I'll be getting paid for my own marketing with the rewards. That may be something I do in the future, but that's contingent upon however business goes for me. I mean, I think after that, it's pretty much straightforward, and now I have a better understanding of how that works. So it has a preset limit for the credit card. Charge card, no. Is part payments allowed? Yes. Charges interest? Yes. Annual fee? Yes. Influences your credit score? Yes. And then charges late payments? Yes and yes. One of the weird parts was I'm pretty sure that even though it says charges interest, it says no, but I definitely know when I filled it out, they showed me the APR, like the prime rate. So I'm not really sure what, like maybe it doesn't charge because you're supposed to pay it in full. But if you didn't pay it in full, I'm assuming that's when it kicks in. But yeah, that's a little bit weird. But hey, so I think that was the most I think that was the one thing that I just really was like, oh, this is interesting. I've never seen that before. So that's the one thing I wanted to make mention of. And of course, knowing that now you have the option of not having to have a business, you can still get this card. You can also, with one hard inquiry, you can get multiple cards with the 5-to-1 rule. You can get one every 5 days. You can have up to 10 cards on one account between personal and business. So that's also a great thing to know, and the rewards that you get for it, man. So my suggestion is you look at the American Express cards, you decide which one is conducive to your lifestyle, and you find the reward system that works best for you, and you start redeeming these rewards, man. Start you a high interest yield savings account and start putting these, you're spending this money anyway. You might as well make something for it. And again, this is even prior, because this is a business credit card that I'm going to use for personal use. But rewards, when I get the Amex Blue, that's going to be the one I'm using for business expenses. And then I'll be able to go over that later. That's going to be a later one. I can guarantee that one is a credit card. It's not a charge card, because it has a introductory 0% APR for 12 months. So clearly you have to be able to carry a balance if you're going to only be doing the minimum payment for that time. So that is the one that once I'm ready, I'm going to get that one for sure. And then I will definitely make a video for that one. I'm also going to probably make a follow-up video for this. This is just a quick introduction to, you again, getting this without a business or getting this with a new business, and the requirements that it took to get it, and just some things that I just found out myself. And I hope that for the people who did not know, like me, this was very helpful to you. And if you're interested in getting this card, it encourages you to go with the pre-approval method first on the personal side, knowing that you're pre-approved with no hard inquiry, and then going to the business side if you decide to go that route, depending on what the perks are. If it makes sense for your lifestyle, you can then know with at least have confidence that, oh, well, if they approve me on this personal side, they'll approve me on the business side. And again, the business one, it's a charge card, so utilization isn't a problem. It wouldn't be, because utilization wouldn't matter. You're going to pay it off in full or regardless. But for not reporting, so that way it doesn't shorten your history, and not to mention, again, remove that hard inquiry once you got it. So I hope this was helpful to you. Drop a comment if you guys have any questions, because you may have a question that I may find the answer to, or you may spark something. I love you guys' questions. I love the questions. I can't lie. Like, my comments is great, because literally I'll read a comment or something that someone asks me, and I can make a whole video off of that one comment. So I get a lot of good information from the questions that you ask, because then it forces me to go do research and then come bring my findings back to you, which again is like an ecosystem of nothing but, like, you're giving me something and I'm giving you something back. So it's mutually beneficial for the community. So definitely leave a comment, ask questions, maybe things that you knew, because some of you may have this card or Amex Gold Personal, anything that you know that I don't know that you want to tell me so I can get some more benefits. Again, I'll continue to do research, and more than likely there will be a part 2 to follow this up with more information and more details. And with nothing else left, you guys have a great day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. Today, I'm making a quick video on the Amazon Business Prime card. It is Wednesday, April the 11th, and I just was approved for the Amazon Business Prime card. Reason why I got this card is because I've been collecting business cards that I can use for a lot of things that I normally spend money on, as a lot of you probably do as well. Amazon is probably one of the main places where you spend a lot of money. So whether you're using it for personal or business, there's something that you can definitely find on here that will probably work for you. So let me go back to the approval. Here I was approved. I submitted the application on March 31st. And it took a little while to get approved because I accidentally left my Experian credit report frozen. Once I left it frozen, I went back in and tried to do the application again after I unlocked it. And then once I did that, it caused an identity verification issue. Eventually, American Express called me, and then they went ahead and they actually approved me for the card with a $12,000 limit. Now, the initial limit is $2,500. It is activated on my Amazon account right now, and I believe the full limit will be available once the card is activated. Couple things I wanted to mention with that. Normally, I had been hearing that you only get one hard pull once you have an American Express card. Maybe it's because I didn't do them all at the same time. I was approved for the American Express Gold, I believe March 30th or somewhere around that time. I did this one like a day or two later, and it was an additional hard pull. Maybe it was because it's a Prime card with an American Express affinity. I can't say for sure, but just in my experience, it was not a soft pull after I was approved for a American Express card. From what I was reading, if you have a charge card, there was a rule that was applying. You can only apply for, I think, one American Express card, one every 5 days, like a 1 in 5 rule. From what I was reading, as long as you're applying for a card that is revolving, then if you apply for a charge card, it doesn't apply to that one. It applies to the ones that are revolving. So since I had gotten a charge card, I went ahead and did the American Express Business Prime card because it was a revolving account or account type, not a charge card. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, it was actually not that bad of an experience. The last one went very smooth. I assume if I did not freeze my report or forget to unlock my report, this would not have happened. Or it wouldn't have taken so long to get the approval. But nonetheless, glad it worked out. Now, this card did come with a welcome offer of $125. It immediately was available to me. So I have $125 that I can use. The APR was, I believe, around 20 something percent. I have to go check the variable again. I'll log on to the account and take a look at that. So you get 5% cash back if you pay within 30 days. It gives you the option to get 5% cash back, or you can do a 90-day term. So you have to do one or the other. If you want to pay it back within the same cycle date, you can pick the 5%. If you want to do a 90-day term where you can pay it back in 90 days, I believe that the interest still does apply. I'd have to double check that actually, if it does apply. But you get 90 days to pay it back, but you don't get the 5%. So you have to, take that as you will. There is no annual fee, but you do have to be an Amazon Prime business member in order to get the card, which the business is around like $189 for the year. They make you pay the year up front. So however you want to look at that, I don't believe I think I did like the trial and then I stopped it. We have to see how that's going to work. I'm not actually sure. Maybe I'll update that in the description and let you guys know. Again, I just got the card. The main thing that I got it for was the 5%. And then I've been doing a little digging to find out exactly what other things that I might want to tell anyone else who's looking to get this card. It's 2% back on purchases at restaurants, gas stations, and wireless phone service. Again, I just got the American Express Gold, which gives me 4 points back on restaurants and gas stations. So I probably won't be using it for that. 1% back on all other purchases. Now, this is how I'm going to use this card. You don't get 5% cash back. They give you 5% cash back that you can use towards Amazon purchases. But what I'm going to do is, let's say I spend $1,000 on this card. I'm going to pay $950 to Amazon, and then I'm going to use the other $50 as a statement credit, and then I'm going to give myself $50 cash back. I'm reimbursing myself, and that's how I will essentially get cash back. So that's kind of the plan that I've had with all of these cards. I've been finding whatever their top category is, and I've been finding 5, 6, 4 basically percent cards, either points or cash back, that I can basically spend on everything. So at the end of the year, like, I probably will spend around $150,000. As long as I get around 5 to 6% cash back for everything, I will basically get reimbursed 7,000, right around, I would say $7,000 to $7,500, right around there. And then I can put that into, like, let's say a Roth IRA. The contribution maxes out at $6,000. I can use that for my entire Roth IRA for the year, for money I was going to already spend anyway. To me, that's perfect. Amazon is just one of those places where I can do this. So it just was, for me, it was a no-brainer. There's no foreign transaction fee. Again, like I was saying, you earn the Amazon shopping points, but I reimburse myself, and I just use that as, it's essentially cash back for me. You can use this card 99% of places that American Express is accepted. And other than that, that seems to be a lot of the additional benefits. There's an extended warranty, which you guys may actually like. You can shop with not having to worry about the original manufacturer's warranty. You get the additional warranty of 5 years or less, covered purchases in the United States or its territories. Purchase protection. Some of you may like this. When an American Express card member charges a covered purchase with their eligible card, purchase protection can help protect their covered purchases for up to 90 days from the covered purchase date. If it's stolen or accidentally damaged, the coverage is limited up to $1,000 per occurrence and up to $50,000 per card member account per calendar year. So to kind of break that down, if you were to have something stolen or accidentally damaged that you purchased with this card, and that's eligible purchases up to $1,000, you can get a reimbursement for that, and it's up to $50,000 per card member for the calendar year. Dispute resolution, like most places, you know, they're going to offer you a dispute option if anything happens. Fraudulent accounts, things of that nature. And then Amex offer, from inline at the store to online from the couch. Add Amex offers to your eligible cards. It's just in the American Express app. There are some additional Amazon Prime, it's not just Amazon offers, but some American Express offers. All right. There was one more benefit that I was looking at, but I don't want to accidentally give wrong information, so I don't seem to find it here. If I want to update anything, I'm going to put it in the description, okay? Now, before I wrap up this video, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the American Express account from two different angles, from the actual Amazon account and then online for American Express. All right, so this is the main thing that I wanted to actually show. As you can see here, that $125 gift card balance is available immediately, basically. And right here, it gives you the Amazon Business Prime card as a card that I can use, right away. Now, your card benefit options right here, it lets you know I can do 5% cash back, or I can do a 90-day payment term. So let's just learn more. So you can get rewarded for everyday purchases, select to earn 5% back, on the first $120,000. That's pretty good. 5% back up to $120,000. In U.S. purchases at Amazon Business, AWS, or Amazon.com, and Whole Foods Market. I forgot to include that. You can get 5% back at Whole Foods if you shop there. So again, that's pretty great. With an eligible Prime membership each calendar year, 1% back thereafter. Redeem rewards on purchases during checkout at Amazon Business and Amazon.com. And again, with the Amazon membership, even though this is a 0 annual fee card, technically with the membership, it's kind of an annual fee. But if you use it properly and you do spend a lot on Amazon, I think with the 5% that you can get back for up to $120,000, it pays for itself, right? If you need more time to pay, select 90-day payment terms on U.S. purchases at Amazon Business, AWS, Amazon.com, and Whole Food Market with an eligible Prime membership. Purchases made using payment term will not count towards the $120,000 cap. So when you do the 90-day purchase, you will not be able to get 5% cash back. Okay, but it does give you 3 months to pay whatever it is that you are trying to pay. Now, I was trying to confirm whether or not you get interest when you do the 90-day, but I'll have to check on the account. Hopefully we can get an answer to that question. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to take a look at that just so that you're aware of how that's going to show up in your Amazon business account once you're approved for that card. On my Amazon account here, I just switched it because I have the gold high yield savings. That's the American Express. Excuse me, I've not made any purchases, so the balance is 0. My available amount that I can actually spend right now is $2,500. I was told when I got approved on the phone that it was $12,000 is my actual limit. So we'll see if that actually updates. I believe when I activate the card, from at least what I looked up, then that should change here. All right, so I just wanted to check that. I checked the frequently asked questions, a couple of the account services, the rewards and benefits. Didn't see anything additional that I wanted to go over, but yeah, that was it. Took a little while to get approved for it. Make sure to unfreeze. Again, I kept it frozen because I thought it was a soft inquiry. I didn't think I would need to unlock it because from what I was reading, everyone was telling me that it was only a soft inquiry when you get, one American Express. The one after that, in this situation, for me, it was a hard inquiry again. And maybe it was because I didn't do them all at the same time. I did wait like a day or two and went in for the next one. So just for you guys, be forewarned that that's a possibility. But I also got the hard inquiries removed anyway. So that's neither here nor there. If you guys like this video, please like and let me know. I know that this wasn't as thorough as I normally would make my videos, but the most important thing for me was to get the 5% back, or the 5% as a statement credit, and then reimburse myself because I do spend a lot on Amazon, and I wanted to make sure that I was maximizing the rewards that I can get for my credit cards, because the main thing is we want to get these accounts so that we can really have them give us money. We want to get rewarded and get paid for spending money, because that's the main thing. And this is money that you were going to spend anyway. So it just is like, it's a really great thing when you can actually make money from money that you were already going to spend. I think that's one of the best things, especially if you take it, you invest it. Again, I have my high yield savings here. Check out the American Express high yield savings. I could take all the rewards that I get, that I reimburse myself, put it right into the American Express high yield savings and make interest on that. Or I could put it into my Roth IRA, maxes out at $6,000 this year for the contribution, and all of that money I would be able to get tax free at 59 when I retire. And it was all made from money that I did not have to save. Depending on how you look at it, but it was reimbursed. So it was all money that technically I got from just spending money. All right. If you guys enjoy this, again, please let me know in the comments. I have a few other credit cards, business credit cards that I do plan on getting. I probably will make a comprehensive guide to why I picked the cards that I picked, how I'm using them, and how you can make sure that you can find the best cards for you and your situation. Honestly, none of these cards are really going to be used for business. I'm not gonna say they're not used for business expenses, but these are gonna be cards that the main point is the rewards. I'm gonna have some other cards that I plan on getting later in the year where they're really gonna be for the credit limit and probably for 0% APR. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Appreciate you watching this video and thank you for everything. Welcome back to Success with Stephen Smith. Today, we're going to be talking about the Marcus by Goldman and Sachs business credit card. Quick heads up for you guys. I know that I haven't been doing as many business videos. I just want to reiterate that there will be a lot more business videos coming. I just started a brand new business on March 1st, 2024. The date that I'm recording this video right now is March 31st. Sorry, it's 31st. So it's March 31st, 2024. So this card that we're going to be talking about, the Marcus by Goldman Sachs, I want to go over a few data points. I also want to make mention that in order for you to get this card, you don't necessarily have to have a business. I'm thinking about making a video for people who I think it's very easy to have a business, and for tax purposes, it's much better. But I'm thinking about making a video for people who want to maybe get business credit cards, but they don't have a business. You don't necessarily have to have a business in order for you to get a business credit card. Okay. So, excuse me, if you guys would like to watch that or to get that information, please let me know. But again, this was a brand new business. I just opened it March 1st, 2024. And this card wasn't even a hard pull. It was actually a soft pull from Equifax. From what the research that I did, you only need about a 660 FICO 8 score in order to get this card. And of course, no derogatory marks, no charge-offs, no collections. And I'm going to be getting a lot of these cards fairly quickly because I've been checking my pre-approvals. I'm pretty much pre-approved for everything that I want. I'm just taking it slowly with what I need. And I'm not necessarily getting, just to get them quickly. I'm strategically picking cards that will suit the needs of my business at this moment in time. So for this particular card, it has a $750 bonus earnings to redeem with GM after spending $5,000 on the GM Business Mastercard in your first 5 months, plus no annual fee. I love that no annual fee unless you're looking to purchase a GM vehicle, which only falls under a few vehicles. I think it's like GMC, Buick, Cadillac. I got to check make sure that's all of them. But if you are looking at getting a vehicle, you can get $750 in bonus earnings that you can put towards that lease or that purchase. The other great thing about this card, you can apply and you'll pretty much know right away if you're approved. And again, you can apply as a sole prop. You don't have to necessarily have a business per se in order to get this card. So depending on what you do, this may benefit you. You get 5% earnings on purchases of GM. So that could be parts, accessories, certified services at authorized GM dealers. Me personally, as you guys have probably seen in my video where I talk about saving money, I talk about never using debit cards. So this is how I use my credit cards. I probably will never use this card for everyday purchases because I have a card now where I can get 4%. Actually, I have a card where I can get 5% cash back on gas stations. So this one isn't high enough. My goal is to get at least 4 to 5% cash back on everything I spend. So if I spend let's say in a year, I was to spend $120,000, which seems kind of real. Well, that's the cap on some of these cards. Once you go over a certain amount, then you can't get the money back. Then you only get 1%. So 5% of 120,000 is $6,000. Remember what I said about getting that money back and getting a high yield savings, you could then put it in there, earn interest on the money that you were already going to spend anyway. So you spent that money to pay your rent, bills, a couple other things, $6,000. Now you got that back for money you're going to spend plus the interest that it accumulated. Easy. This is free money. So that's how I use them. For this particular card, it has a 0% APR for 12 months. That is the biggest thing. So if you wanted to make a very large purchase, like let's say you wanted to get, maybe you were starting a YouTube channel and you want to get a couple cameras, equipment, things of that nature, you can purchase them with this card. And then you have 12 months of no interest payment. So you can just split it into 12 payments every month, set an automatic payment, pay it off. In a year, you would have been able to basically pay that stuff off with 0% interest. That to me is the biggest benefit of this card. That's the reason why I was able to get it. And there's also one more additional benefit that I think is pretty good. So for the rewards, you can redeem earnings when buying or leasing an eligible new GM vehicle with no redemption limit. Employee card purchases increase your earnings. Earnings don't expire as long as your account stays open. For me personally, as far as GM vehicles go, unless I come up with a good idea, I don't actually have anything that I think that you can actually use that for. But if something comes up, then maybe it'll benefit you. The Master Rental Insurance, CDW, which pays for damages and theft of a rental vehicle. I think that's really cool. If you have this particular card and you were going out of town and you were going to rent a vehicle, if you've ever rented a car, you know when you're at the counter, they're going to ask you if you want the insurance. Insurance could be like, what, $40 a day, something. I'm just throwing out a random number, but it adds up, right? It gets expensive. If you have this card, you can use the Master Rental Insurance, which pays for damages and theft of a rental vehicle. Now, I'm sure it pays up to a certain amount. And there probably is some stipulations. I don't know the stipulations. I haven't called and asked, but I would definitely call and ask that. It also includes personalized assistance with business assistant, concierge accessible 24 hours a day, 365 days. Pay only for purchases cardholders have authorized. Of course, it protects against anything that was unauthorized. And those are the main points that I found interesting about this card. Now, when I was doing the research on this card, I found out that the limit can actually go up to 50,000. Now, when I got approved, let me actually show you exactly what it went to. So right here, hi, Steven, good news. Your business is approved for the GM business card. Accept your offer today and start using the card instantly. Here are your account details. So accepted on, I had to accept by April 13th. I accepted it the same day that I got it. And I think I posted a screenshot on the community and some of you have responded. Credit limit is 8,000. Now, that could be because my business was so new. Could be for various reasons. Why, I can't say for sure, but it was 8,000. That was the limit. I was okay with that. Wasn't really pressing it for anything else. I did some research on Reddit. There were a lot of people who, I think when the card first came out, were getting 25,000, 30, 50. I mean, they were getting crazy limits. So maybe they reduced it back a little bit, especially with the 0% APR. But I'm sure the more you use it, you can ask for a limit increase if you need it more. But if not, I'm just letting you know what I was approved for. Brand new business. That could be it too. Not even a month old. Score was a 740 with Equifax. And maybe if I had 750 or above, it would have been more. Maybe if my business was open for more than, 28 days at the time, 29 days, it would have been more. But who's to say? We can't say for sure what their conditions are. And I think the APR rate was very similar. It was very similar. Another great thing, I was able to immediately add the card to my wallet, like right away. And I was able to use it the same day that I was approved. So if you wanted same day funding when the card's approved, then that's good. Now, here's what they did do. When I applied, it was at nighttime. The next day, they called me to verify that I was the one that put in the application. From what I saw or what I was reading, because before I apply for anything, I do a ton of research. Everyone says the same thing happened with them. They call you. They say, hey, was this you? Yes, that was me. You'll get your approval in an email in the next 5 minutes. Email came, 5 minutes, approved. You can add it right to your Apple Wallet. You're good to go, and you can use it. Very easy to set up. Setting up your account. There's an app for it. You make the account. You log in. You can link your bank account. Super easy. Very, very simple process. Yeah, man, I had no problems with this, and it was especially if you're starting to do a credit card stack for a business card, and you want to start with one where you know you're approved and you don't have to take a hard inquiry. I think this is a no-brainer, especially with 0% APR. If you had planned to buy inventory that you wanted to purchase and then recoup the money on, if you wanted to do something with even GM, and if you wanted to start building that relationship with Goldman Sachs, another thing that's really cool, that's separate. There's a high yield savings account that you can get with this one as well. Now, here's what I would suggest. If you were to use this card, I can't really say for sure what you would use it for, like necessarily, but let's say that you did initial deposit of $500 for the high yield savings, and then you were to deposit. I mean, if you use this card, I think you'll see that on average, you'll probably get 3% back on most things that you might use it for. And let's say you only spent like $50,000, or let's just actually say, let's do it for the month. You spend $5,000 a month, and it just so happens to fall into the 3% category. That's $150 that you can take from your card rewards and then add them to the high yield savings account. It's right next to the credit card. And then let's say that you were to do that for, this says what, for 1 year? I don't want to do the bank. Here we go, monthly. So it's letting you know what your interest could be, which your interest would then be $60. That's 4.5% APY. Bank of America, and it lets you compare each bank and what they have. So Chase, it'd be nothing. Citibank, it'd be nothing. Wells Fargo, like that's just letting you know like there's barely anything that you're going to get from those. And then you can check the time frames of what it would compound into after a certain amount of years. And you guys could check that out and kind of play with it. But what I'm really into is making money from spending money, and then spending my money on things that make me money. So if you can find things that make sense with this particular card and you're able to earn on the rewards, I say definitely do it. They also have a special term boost on savings on CDs. So that's 5% APY. You lock in this competitive rate and it's guaranteed, and you just have to fund it with at least 500. So just a couple of little other things, couple of tools that I think are very important that you should use, and products that you should use besides just the business MasterCard. But that's really all I have to cover on here. Really quick video, really good product. So shout out to Goldman and Sachs. Very, very easy business card to get. And if you want more information on how you can also get this same card, then I can definitely do that, and how you can actually get this without having a business at all. Right. So if this was enjoyable, please leave a comment. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that video of how to get a business credit card without a business, because there's actually a few that you can get without having one, just with a sole prop. So if that would interest you and you would like that, let me know. Also be on the lookout for my next business video. When I get a business credit score, I'm going to have it's going to be a very long video on setting it up, how long it took for the reporting, how long it took to start doing this stacking, because I'm doing this in real time. Like, you guys aren't getting this where this happened a year ago. You're seeing me do this in real time. Like, you look back, I'm still fixing credit, my own. I'm starting a new business. I did that. then I'm going to this is all in real time. This isn't like, years later. I'm doing this as we speak in the moment so that you can do it too. So definitely just let me know what you guys would like to see, but look out for that one. It's going to be a very extensive video with that. So hopefully if you like, you can start the same process. There's also cards that we could talk about where it's very few, but there are some no PG options that you could also look at it by structuring your business, even though overall, no matter what they tell you, PGing is the ultimate way to go. Have to have good credit. Unfortunately, there's no way around it, but I do hope that all the other things that I'm putting out will enable you to find different ways that you can get that corrected so that you can move forward, and then you can start getting these and we can just, keep rocking from there. So thank you guys for watching, and you have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. We talk about personal finance, financial literacy, repairing credit, business credit, leveraging capital on this channel. And today, as promised, I'm going to be talking about the Sam's Club Business Mastercard. Now, a majority of the videos that I've been talking about business credit cards, I've made it a point to always talk about a personal guarantee and the importance of having good personal credit in order to qualify for these credit cards. This is the one credit card that I can say does not require a personal guarantee. You can get a $20,000 credit line, all based off of your business, your EIN. And I've had this card on, I want to say 3 different occasions. The first business that I had, I was repairing credit while I was starting my new business. This card was the most reliable thing that I had at that time because I couldn't get any personal credit cards. When I first got this card, I was approved after 4 months of attempting to be approved. And back then you had to print out the document and you had to go down to Sam's Club and you have to apply. And if you were denied, you have to wait 30 days, come back. I would read the letter. The letter would tell me what I did wrong, and I would come back and do it again. And when I was approved, I was initially approved for $8,000, and that was with the store card. So, excuse me, if you're not initially approved for this card, for the Mastercard, just know that you could be approved for the store card. The store card can be used at any Sam's Club. It can be used at any Walmart, as well as samsclub.com and walmart.com. So when I was starting Amazon FBA and I started making, money, this card really helped because I was able to find things to purchase from walmart.com, some things in Sam's Club, and I was able to resell them. So you just got to get creative. So just know, even if you don't get the Mastercard, there's plenty of ways that you can use this card in order to create income. If you want to start a car cleaning service, you could buy the equipment on the Sam's Club store card or Mastercard. Of course, for the store card, they have vending machines. You want to start a vending machine business, it's on Sam's Club, it's on Walmart. So you just have to get creative with what you're going to do with this card. But again, this card really, really came in handy. Even though a lot of the other credit cards or store cards, that you can get when you have business credit, you got to get creative. If you have a card with Home Depot, Floor and Decor, if you have a card with Best Buy, what have you, you can get creative and figure out what you can do. You don't always need cash or just a credit card in general to make things happen. Get creative. And that's what I did with this card. And this is going to be the most, to me, comprehensive step-by-step guide. I watched so many YouTube videos on this card trying to figure out how to get it. And some of them were good. Some of them were just restating the same information. But not only will I tell you about this card, I'm going to show you step by step how you can qualify for this card without having to take 4 months to get it. I'm going to tell you everything that I did wrong, everything that I did right. I'm going to tell you the total of what it's going to cost you to get this card, because I don't want you to waste your time. I want to provide this information so you could get this card as soon as possible, so you can get your credit limit increases, so that you can do whatever you need to do for your business, even if you don't have perfect credit at this time. I know you're working on it. You're going to get there. In the meantime, we do have options. So this is one of those options that I definitely want to go into great detail about. All right, so let's get started. Now, the number one most important thing when it comes to getting the Sam's Club Business Mastercard is your business needs to be structured. Okay, I have 2 videos that are really good that talk about how to start a business, and another one that shows you how to build business credit within 30 days. Okay. I'll probably link the videos here, or they'll be at the end of this video. It's 2 videos if you want an in-depth review about that. They're fairly long, and this one will probably be fairly long too. So I'm not going to reiterate much of that, but I'm just going to go over this. You need to start a business, structure it properly. First, when you're starting a business, you have to obtain your EIN through irs.gov. Your EIN is free. You never have to pay for it. You want to obtain a professional business address. Now, I'm going to go over these things step by step for you, just so you have an idea of what's going on. So the first thing I'm going to go over for you very briefly is Alliance Virtual Office. Now, I have another video where I tell you every virtual office for a business that you could get, and every virtual mailbox. And the difference between a virtual office and a virtual mailbox. You can go back and watch that video if you would like. If I had to pick one, I would pick Alliance Virtual Office, because usually they have theirs in a business center, or iPostal One. You could do one or the other. iPostal One being the least expensive. Alliance Virtual Office is right there in the middle for me. I would say if you want a actual office in a business center to show up for your business address, this is a great one. And I'm just going to quickly go over what that looks like as far as pricing. In the end, I'm going to give you a total of how much everything will cost, because to structure your business properly, to get this card, it will cost some money, but I'll give you a general idea of what you're looking at in terms of getting qualified for the Sam's Club Business Mastercard. Right now, I'm currently on the Alliance Virtual Office website. I'm going to put a link in the description if you would like to take a look at this option for your virtual office. If you want to look at more options with more pricing, please look at my video about virtual offices. I compare all of them. I've tried all of them, and you can pick the one that you like the most if you don't like this one. So I'm just going to type in a quick example. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's see what they have for virtual offices in Las Vegas. So really quick and easy. Here's a virtual business address. The price is starting at $50. Okay. Easy, right? Let's go ahead. We're going to add this to our cart, and it gives you the option of customizing mail forwarding. If we're just doing this for the purpose of getting the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, let's just do it in the most cost-effective way possible. All right, so as you can see, it's saying that there is a one-time setup fee of $200, a monthly reoccurring charge of $50. If you go up to the top right now, and this may change depending on when you're watching this video, it is April 25th, 2024 at this time, so please keep that in mind. There's a promotion where you can get $175 off of the setup. So by adding that promotion on there, you see before your one-time setup fee was $200. Now it's $25. So for the day, you'll be charged $33.33 for today. Your monthly reoccurring charge will be $50 in order to have this as a virtual address, a virtual office address. And then there is a agreement term of 6 months. So $50 is pretty good, I would say, for a virtual address that is in a business center and that looks very professional. And for the first time, it'll cost you $33.33. So if you're interested in Alliance as a virtual office, I will put the link in the description. But keep in mind, I also have a video that goes over every virtual office and every virtual mailbox if you want to take a look at that. Now, back onto the slide about structuring your business. Now, you're going to want to use a professional business phone number. Now, when it comes to a professional business phone number, what I normally do, I normally go to Google Voice and I lock a number in. Reason why I do that, Google Voice is free. It's no cost. Now, I will say that when you're filling out the application for the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, sometimes they do call you. And if you have a Google Voice number, that can sometimes be the reason why you get denied. So I normally, when I make my business, because when you normally, make your business, you have to have all this information. You need to have an address, a phone number already established. The easiest thing I think you could do is get a Google Voice number for free. And when you're ready, you can take that number and you can port it to a carrier, or you can port it to whatever service you want to port it to. Usually every number is portable. So Google Voice allows you to at least temporarily, well, not temporarily, but as long as you need to, you can lock in that number. So that way you have it, then you can decide where you want to move it later. Now, I have another video where I show you how to get a business phone number with Verizon Wireless. Again, that's no credit check. You can get a business phone number with Verizon Wireless, EIN only, and you can do that within around, I would say, 30 to 45 days of starting your new business. And you can knock this out like simultaneously. If you want to get the Google Voice, set up the business, structure it for 30 days, get your phone line with Verizon. You can watch my video on that. It's pretty straightforward. Then you can go ahead and apply for the Sam's Club Business Mastercard after everything else is done. You guys can follow. There is an order of operations that you can handle this in, where you can get all of this done. So that's my recommendation for the business phone number, to basically do it the most cost-effective way. Now, your business email, you need to have a business email that's not a Gmail account. I'm going to actually show you in one screen how you could get all of this done at the same time. So for your business email, we're going to come back to that, but I'm going to show you how I use a business email with Shopify, because you also need to have a business website. But when you start a Shopify, you actually get a business email that you can then use for forwarding to a Gmail. But for all intents and purposes, it basically is free and you don't have to pay any additional money for it. Now, applying for your DUNS number, again, this is all stuff that you're gonna be doing in the course of structuring your business initially. So applying for the DUNS number, I did a video on that. You guys could watch that to learn how to apply for that. Obtain a business domain and creating a website. So there's two things that you need to do. The first thing that you need to do is get a business domain name. So a business domain name is just your website name. You're going to want to have this because, again, when you're structuring your business, it needs to look professional. It needs to look like a actual business that's operating and that I could walk into at any point in time. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is a website called HostGator. HostGator is one that I use to get my domain and to get my website name, like successwithstevensmith.com, and my new business. I got the domain name by using HostGator. So I'm on HostGator right now. As you can see, you can start for as low as $3.75 per month. Let's go to get started. Would just go with the Hatchling plan because you're really only just using this for the domain name. So let's just go to the Hatchling. For my website name, let's just do Steven Smith example. Doesn't really matter. There we go. Steven Smith example, $12.99 for the year. All right. Now, right here where it says choose a hosting plan, you have to pick your billing cycle terms. Now, let's say you planned on keeping this for 3 years. They're going to want to charge you at $3.75 a month for 3 years. Let's say you wanted it for 12 months. It's $4.95. Let's say you wanted it at, 1 month. It's $12.95. So my recommendation is, if you plan on keeping this website for a long time, the most cost effective is the 3 years. If you plan on keeping the website, temporarily, then you could do the 1 month. If you want to, keep it for, see how this goes, I think 12 months is like a good place to actually look at. And now let's see what that does to our price. All right, so the hatchling plan for the year ends up being $87.34. That's going to be the total for your domain name for the entire year. But let's see what it would be if we did month by month. So if you decided to do the domain for just 1 year, then you're looking at $38.93 up front. And then monthly, it'll be $12.95. Okay. So you can kind of play around with this. Different domain names have different costs. You could play around with the months and everything. But if you just needed a quick domain, you could probably get it for, I would say, I've seen as low as $15 depending on the name, and it could go up from there. So I would say like an average, you could probably get away with spending $25 a month and maybe $25 up front, and then $12 or $13 per month, depending on what you want to do. But this is what I normally do. I normally do it for the year because I want to see how it's going to go with whatever domain that I'm using, because it's $38 here. You pay 80 something. It's for the whole year. You don't have to even think about it. So it just depends on how you look at it. To me, that's the most cost effective. It's only, maybe $40 more to have it for the whole year, and I never have to worry. I'd rather just do it for the whole year, but it is up to you which option you would like to do. But this is what I use to get my domain name quickly. All right, and I'm going to leave a link to HostGator at the bottom as well. Now, for my website, I use Shopify, and that's the website that if you look at mine, successwithstevensmith.com, that's the one that I'm using, but I'm going to tell you why I'm using it. I don't think it's better than Squarespace or it's better than Wix. If you're not selling anything on Shopify, you don't necessarily need it, but I look at what it could do for me as far as price. Now, if you're selling something, definitely, but when you're initially getting started, if you were trying to just create a website that you were going to only need for maybe, let's say, like a month or so, I do think it's a really good option, especially for the very first month. So I'm going to show you why. So with Shopify, you can get a 3-day free trial. You don't have to add any credit card information. And then you get 1 month for $1. All right. So with that, you get a nice amount of time to start your website, and then you don't have to actually, come out of pocket too much money in order to get started, especially if you don't plan on keeping this website. If you don't plan on keeping it after you are, qualified for this stuff, or you plan on reactivating it later, that's fine. I think that this is a very cost-effective way of getting started. And again, you can also get your email with Shopify, your business email. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you my business email and how I was able to set that up, the same one that you guys actually will email me on most of the time. Now, before I show you the email, I want to show you Shopify's actual prices. Now, keep in mind, this price that you're seeing here, it's showing that it's $29.99, but that's for the annual price. You save 25% annually. Now, if you go to pay monthly, it's going to cost you $39. So keep that in mind. Your first month is $1. After that, it does go to $39 if you don't have an annual plan, and that's for the basic Shopify store. So bear that in mind. If you're going to do the $1 for the month, try to get that done. If you want to keep it because you like it, cool. If you don't like it, then I recommend looking for something cheaper. But to get started, I think this is definitely the most cost effective, especially for that very first month. Now, this is my domain section of my Shopify store. As you can see, I just took my HostGator domain. You can type it in and search it in here, and you can connect an existing domain name. And it's pretty intuitive, so it walks you through how to add this, but you can go to the domain section of your store, and then you can add that HostGator domain to Shopify. And when you do this, it allows you to create a store email, which you can use for your business email. So that won't be any additional cost to you. So let me show you the business email. And as you can see right here, when I go to my store details, this is my store email. If you actually click on the little pencil that's right here on the side, it gives you the option right here to change your store email. So the reason why I like this more than just getting an actual business email is at any time, I can change this and it'll just forward to my Gmail. So I created a Gmail, successwithstevensmith@gmail.com. And then I have my store email, info@successwithstevensmith.com, and it just forwards straight there. So it's like, I can change this email whenever I want to. It didn't cost me any additional money, and it comes with Shopify. So you get to basically kill two birds with one stone. So that's the reason why I recommend this, especially if we're only trying to structure this just to get the Sam's Club Business Mastercard. So I'm going to put a link for Shopify as well in the description, and you guys can check that out. There are also alternative options. So Shopify isn't the only one. Again, there's Squarespace, there's Wix, there's plenty of other places that you can go to and do the same thing. This one is the most cost effective upfront from my experience, and it's the one that I currently use now. Now, you're going to want to register your business with the 411 directories. This is really easy. You just could go to Google, type in register my business 411 directory. It's going to put your phone number in a place where it'll appear online, giving your business more metadata. More metadata makes your business searchable when it's being looked at by possibly an underwriting team for Sam's Club. For Synchrony Bank, since they're the underwriter. So do that. It's very easy and straightforward. As soon as you do all of this other stuff, you just type it into Google, you add your business information, and you're all set. It's pretty easy. And the last thing that you want to do when structuring your business is opening a business bank account. Now, I know for some people, they're having issues with opening a business bank account depending on the institution that they're going with. So for my first business, one of the business I opened up an account with was Novo. And Novo is an online business bank account that you can get. It's easy to get approved for, and especially when you just need to get one right away, because a lot of times some places will require you to have a business bank account. So this is the last part in structuring. I do have a link to there as well. All right, so this is Novo, streamlining your business finances. It's no monthly fee banking, budgeting, payments, and invoicing all in one. So this one is completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. It works with Stripe, Wise, Square, Shopify, and QuickBooks. So to get started, I recommend that you just sign up for this right away because it's easy and it's free, and you can get your debit card in the mail within like 7 to 10 business days. However, if you're going to be actually operating your business, I always recommend having a major institution, a bank that you can find almost anywhere that you go to, like a Chase, like a Citibank, any type of large financial institution. I recommend that you do have that in conjunction with this. But if you were just trying to get a bank account fast, and trust me when I say, when you have a brand new business and you're trying to get a bank account, it's very hard for them to identify your business because it hasn't been 30 days yet, and it may not show up in the IRS system yet. So this is a really quick way to get a business bank account, get set up with that, and get started, and it's free. So I'm going to put a link into the description, and you guys can check that out as well. Unless you already have a business bank account, then you'll be all good. And that completes the structuring portion of this video. So with everything being completely structured, we want to just make sure that our business website is also structured. Now, I used mine as an example, even though my Success with Steven Smith website isn't necessarily structured properly, but my new business has a different website. I'm not trying to hide it, but I'm going to actually be using my new business later on for something else. So I just want to not mention it or show it until I'm ready to. So eventually, I was probably like the next 5 to 6 months, but this one right now is good for example purposes. It's a one pager. You want to make sure your business phone number is visible somewhere on the page. Very easy to add with Shopify. You want to make sure that your business email is visible. Again, that's very easy to add. And you want to have your business address visible on the website. So when people go to your website, it looks very professional. They can tell exactly what you're doing, how you're doing it. And, I should be able to know exactly what your business does just by going on to the website. And I should be able to easily contact you and find you. And, very, very quickly. The other thing that I want to mention that I did not actually add to the structuring portion is a Google business profile. Now, I want to put an asterisk by this. The first time that I set up a Google business profile, which a Google business profile is just, you can search your business online and you can find it. That's pretty much all it is. I can look your business up and I can find it on Google. There's a Google little panel thing with a phone number and an address. Before, you used to be able to get one of these by Google Business sending you a postcard and you just put the registration code in. Now, the only way for you to register your business on Google profile is to record a video of you actually going into your business and showing that it's operating. Now, here's the thing, because a Google business profile is only supposed to work for storefronts. Here's the thing. If you get a business card, like I got a business card, I made them on Canva. I ordered them. It was like $10. You can record outside of your business virtual address outside. You can record a video of the card, and then you can record yourself walking into the reception at the reception desk. Like if you're in Alliance, there's a reception desk. If you're using something like iPostal One, then you can just record yourself picking up your mail, and you can show them that you're getting something from there. The video should be no more than, I think, like 2 minutes. You want to just do that. You upload it to Google. They'll verify it, and then they'll verify your business. That's the easiest way. If enough people have difficulties with this, I may make a video on it. But I was able to get my new business verified. So, it didn't seem very difficult. And that was just the way that I did it. It seemed very, very easy. And that's the only thing I feel like I possibly could have missed in the structuring portion. Other than that, this is everything that we need. And I'm going to give you an idea of how much all of this will actually cost you a little later. Now, I talked about this before. Net 30 trade lines. I talked about this in my Net 30 video. Now, why am I mentioning this? In order for you to get the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, you want to have a Paydex score of at least 80. That's Dun & Bradstreet score. You want to have a Experian business credit score of at least 80. Equifax Business, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's that impactful. But I would at least try to have like a score in like that 150 range, right around there. Now, here's what, again, I wish someone had told me. In order to get your score to generate, I recommend having 6 trade lines reporting to, 5 to 6 reporting to Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax Business. I'm going to tell you exactly which trade lines to get. These are going to be the most cost effective, and they report quick. Now, most people mention Uline and Quill. I actually mentioned Uline and Quill in my other Net 30 video. Now, keep in mind with Uline and with Quill, when you have a brand new business, I just did this like a month and a half ago. My brand new business, Quill and Uline kept denying me because I did not have my business open long enough. So just keep in mind that if you try to do Uline and you try to do Quill and they do not allow you to do it, you might want to wait 90 days. But of course, if we're trying to get this done the fastest way, we don't want to wait. So I didn't include them on this list, but if you're structuring your business for like, let's say 90 days, those are definitely something that you could look into. If you want it fast, here's the fastest ones that I found and the most cost effective. Nav and Nav Prime. I have a video again. It talks about this. Nav is basically a business credit monitoring service. This will do a couple good things for you. One, it's going to show you your Dun & Bradstreet score, your Paydex score. Actually, I'm sorry. It doesn't show the Paydex score anymore. It shows your business FICO score. It shows your Experian score, and it shows your Equifax business score. But you still want to monitor those. You're able to monitor those. In the past, you were able to monitor Dun & Bradstreet as well. So you're going to get a reporting that's going to go to all three of those bureaus. You're going to get the NAV Prime card. It's going to report to all three. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you guys are looking at starting and structuring a business and you're getting trade lines, one of the hardest things I had to learn at the beginning was, how do I get all these trade lines to report? Because some of them only report to one place. With NAV, you get two that report to all three off the bat. Easy. And it's $49.99. Easy off the bat. You already got it. Okay. The next one is Shirtsy. Now, Shirtsy does report to all three. At least in my experience, I've seen it. I've done it. In fact, it's reporting to my new business now. It took around 35 days for these to show up. Now, Shirtsy does cost to set it up $99. There's a $99 setup fee. I'll put a link at the bottom to Shirtsy as well, but it's $99 to start. But you have to, if you just pay for that, it'll report. Now, if you use that to get other things, then that's awesome too, but it does report, which is good. BCC Supplies, they only report to Experian, but Experian is in my opinion, the most important one. Like, while you do need to make sure that all those other scores generate, Five will get it done, but they pull from Experian. They look at Experian for the Sam's Club Business Mastercard. That's what you're working on. Experian Business. That one is $25. Word of caution, I used BCC Supply to get started. They do charge that $25 monthly. Like, Shirtsy's a one-time charge. BCC Supplies is a $25 reoccurring charge. I didn't realize it was reoccurring. I tried to cancel with them. It took me a long time. I tried to call them. I sent about 3 emails. Eventually, they did cancel it. So I didn't get charged. I got charged twice initially and then the following month. But they canceled my account, so I didn't get charged again. But just keep in mind, a lot of these you can cancel, because these business trade lines, in my experience, once they report one time, you really don't have to keep them up. You could try to do like maybe 1 or 2 months for good measure, but after that, they stay on there for a pretty good amount of time. They don't really go anywhere. So I think you should just get what you need for like a month or two and then cancel it. Don't keep it up. NAV you may want to keep because it is a good monitoring service. And if you end up using the NAV Prime card very often, then, it may make sense for you. But, that's up to your discretion. eCredible Business Lift. eCredible Business Lift reports to all three. And I'm going to get to the end with the price. I think it's around $14.95 or $19.99, but I'm going to show you at the end. They report to all three. And if you have Alliance Virtual Office, you can actually report your virtual address as an additional trade line, and it'll report to Equifax Business. Okay, so that's why I put 2 trade lines here for eCredible, because you can add your virtual address as a additional utility bill that will report. And then A to B gas card. A to B gas card is fairly easy. I talk about this one. You can get this when you first set up your business. Very, very simple. They do have a $35 one-time fee to set up. And then after that, you can use it to get gas anywhere that Visa is accepted. So that one reports to Experian. And the good thing is it reports as a revolving account. So not only do you get a couple net 30s, the NAV Prime card and the A to B gas card report to your business credit Experian as revolving. It looks like you have credit cards. That actually will aid you into getting qualified for the Sam's Club Business Mastercard. All right. So I've given it to you: 6 trade lines for Experian, 5 trade lines for Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax Business, 5 trade lines. These are the most cost-effective ones. I've done this in the last 30 days. So as of April 25th, 2024, I can confirm this is accurate, up-to-date information, and that you will have, 5 to 6 trade lines that will give you a good business credit score. My recommendation is the day that you set up your business, do this all in the same day. I did it all in the same day. I set up my business. I got my Google Voice number. I made my website. I got all of these trade lines. I just got on my computer on a Friday, did it all. Took me maybe 3-4 hours to do it all. It doesn't take that long to make a website. It don't take that long to do anything. And then I got I applied for the DUNS number same day. I did everything in the same day and just sat back and just waited 30 days. So you want to be, again, at least an 80. An 80 puts you in the low risk business scale. Lenders and suppliers are likely to see you as a business and that you're reliable and that it is low risk. To be honest, the moment you have Net 30's report, you're going to see you probably start out at an 85. Most of you will. Now, depending on your business SIC code, which is the type of industry that you're in, you may see your business score drop when you enter in your SIC code. There's one more thing that I recommend that you use, but you don't necessarily have to do it. It's up to your discretion, but I just want to show it to you anyway. Now, this is Experian Business. What I recommend that you do when you're first starting your business, when you use NAV does report your business to the major business credit bureaus, but you can also go here and you can report your business to them. All right. Now, they actually offer a service that you can use where you can update your business information online. So if you go to get your report now, well, you'd have to type in your company name and put in all the information. You can get your business report. I'm going to show you what that report looks like as a sample, and I'm going to get into why this is important. All right, this is a sample of an Experian Business report. See how it shows your business address. It shows your business name. It shows the different branches and locations. It shows your sales. It shows how long you've been in business. It shows your SIC code, which is the type of business that you are, and also your NAICS code. Now, depending on what this code is, can actually change your business score. Some business industries are riskier than others, but for the most part, you'll generally see that you're at an 80 to 85 range when you initially start. Now, if you sign up for Experian Business, it is $189 for the year. But you get access to this report, and they don't show it here on this example, but you can actually click on any of these sections and click update. In about a week to, I would say, 2 weeks, someone through Experian Business will go in there and update your account to the changes. Here's why this is important. Let's say that you finally have your business credit score through Experian, but then you get to the Sam's Club, you apply, you have an 85, you have 6 to 5 trade lines that are reporting to Experian, Paydex score is good, everything's good, business phone number is set, everything's great, right? Let's say that you get denied and they say when you get your letter, they couldn't verify your business. If you go to Experian and look at this report, you might notice your name was spelled wrong. You may notice the phone number's not there. You may notice the SIC code is not there. You may notice that how many employees you have isn't there. This report needs to perfectly match everything that you put on your application. If it does not perfectly match, more than likely you will get denied. Now, me personally, the first 2 times I got denied, I had a friend who was also getting these credit cards. He had 2 of them. He put me on to this and he told me, go to this, edit it, make sure that everything is the exact same to Dun & Bradstreet, to Experian Business, to Equifax Business. Like, make sure everything is the exact same. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this, because you can actually go to the Experian Business website and there's a contact form. You can email them and ask them to update the information. But for me, I feel like this is very easy. I can update it at my leisure. I can make sure that it's right. It gives you your business credit score. It gives you your your stability risk. It gives you your SBFE risk rating. It gives you your payment trade lines. Like, as you can see here, this one is 66. I think on mine I have like 5 or 6 right now, but they'll all show up here, right? It'll show payment exercises, small business financial exchange, your trade line experiences. So it'll show like all of your different net 30s, your different accounts, your recent balances. Like everything's going to be here for you. It'll show your business inquiries. Everything is going to be there for Experian, and you can manage it. You can change it. You could even contact them and ask them to remove hard inquiries. All of that, right? So this is just a sample. Maybe if you guys are interested in this, or there's more inquiries about how this works with Experian business, I'll do a video on this. This is just something I wanted to put on the radar in case you get a denial. My recommendation would be to go here and make sure everything is correct. Now, if you're starting a brand new business, you probably will not have this issue as often unless something was entered in, incorrectly. But if you made sure everything was the same, that's why I said do it all on the same day. Everything the same and just wait. If you have an old business, maybe you had different addresses, maybe you had different phone numbers, it gets a little bit tougher because now you have to go back and make sure everything is right everywhere. But for, new businesses, this will probably already be correct because you're going to be filling out all this information at the same time. So shouldn't be any issues there or any discrepancies. All right, so we can get back to the slide now. All right, so I created a little invoice to let you know how much it's going to cost you to structure your business in order to get the Sam's Club Business Master, your business license. I did a range. I'm in Nevada. I have one of the highest cost of starting a business. I always do corporations. You can do LLCs. Again, it just depends on your business preference. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It just depends on you. My license costs $725. So there's some people who theirs is as low as I believe it can be as low as $50, depending on your state. So I can't say what it's going to be. Just know that it can vary for you. Yours could be 400, yours could be 200, yours could be 100, it could be 3. It varies by state. So I just did an average ballpark. Again, mine is very high, but I think that mine's the second highest. So it's only one other state that'll have a higher cost than what mine is. Now, business license, again, varies by state. $200. I put OTC here for one-time charge. And let me try to zoom in. There we go. One-time charge, $200. Virtual address, if you go with Alliance, the initial cost was, remember, right around 30, 33. So let's just say $35. The price monthly is $50. It's going to be $49 for Nav Business Builder. And then that's going to be $49 per month. eCredible Lift is $19.95 upfront and per month. HostGator, I just said around $60. I gave an average of if you did, let's say, the monthly or the yearly. If you do it for the year, you could probably get around $60. It just depends on your domain name and the type. So I just put 60 if you do it for the year, and it would be a one-time charge for that year. If you do Shopify, it is $1 basically to start, but it could potentially be $39.99 a month if you keep it, but it does give you your business email as well. Shirtsy, $99 one-time charge. A to B gas card, $35, and that's a one-time charge. I think I missed BCC supply is $25 with a $25 monthly charge, but you can cancel that, after it's been reported 1 or 2 months. Now, with that being said, the total that you're looking at is $524.94. That is the total that you are looking at upfront to really get your business started and to get it structured properly. Now, I didn't add up the monthly charge. I have that all here because it can vary, and it just depends on what you're doing. And it depends on if you decide to cancel it after you get the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, because you could keep it going until you get the card and then stop. If that was the only purpose in you doing this. So I didn't add that. And I also mentioned that this is without a phone. And, if I was to create an invoice and you were being charged for this, this is what I think it would look like. So for average, I think you'd be looking at somewhere between maybe, as I think you could probably get away with potentially as low as like $430 to maybe as high as like, again, depends on your state, maybe as high as $1,000. It all depends. But if you were trying to structure your business anyway, these are things you're probably going to pay for. But again, this was something that I didn't know at first. And then I was paying for so many different trade lines. To try to get a business score. And I wish I just knew I could just get a couple of these. And these were the most cost effective. Now, if you find anything else that works better than these, drop them in the comments. This is just from my experience. I just did this recently. For me, this was the most cost-effective way that I tried. And of course, if you change your virtual address, if you maybe find something other than HostGator, if you find something other than Shopify or Shirtsy or whatever the case may be, this can change. This is just basically me saying I did all the work of gathering all this information. I put it all in one place for you to not have to spend time or energy doing it. And this was the total, or what I expect to be the total, in order for you to structure your business up front. You may have to spend this much money in a day. And if I missed anything, then I'm sorry. You could let me know in the comments. That way other people know. I tried to cover everything I thought that it could possibly be. Because I want you to understand that in order to get this Sam's Club Business Mastercard, this is the kind of thing that you're going to have to do initially. And this is the thing that people don't mention. Now, one other thing that I didn't add on here, in order for you to apply for the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, you need to be a Sam's Club member. You need to be a Sam's Club member. Now, I didn't include that on here because if you're already a member, then that may not mean anything to you. If you're not a member, well, I believe that there's other benefits to that. That's just something that you definitely need. I didn't include it here, but my recommendation would be the day you start your business, if you don't have a Sam's Club membership, consider getting one that day. It's good if you have the account open for at least like 30 days before you apply, and then use it a little bit if you would like. But you do need to have a membership in order to apply for this card at all. If approved, you will either get the Sam's Club store card, probably with an $8,000 limit. It will not have a Mastercard logo, and you can use it at Sam's Club or Walmart. It'll be just like having a credit card that you could use at Sam's Club or Walmart. And this is it right here. Same thing. It'll say Sam's Club credit, no Mastercard logo. All right. You will get qualified for the Mastercard Blue. That's the standard membership. When you sign up for a membership with Sam's Club, that membership is $50. Right? That's just for you to be able to be a Sam's Club member. Now, if you get the Sam's Club Plus membership, you'll have a black Sam's Club credit card. It won't be the blue one like this one where it says Sam's Club member. It'll be the black one that says Sam's Club Plus member. So with the Sam's Club Plus membership, it's $110. You can get, I believe, early access to Sam's Club, where you can go into the store an hour early. Whenever they open up, they give the Plus members that initial hour that the regular members can't go in. So that's one benefit. You also get an additional 2% cash back, and you get Sam's cash back. So if cash back was a big deal to you, I'll talk about that in another video, and why I wanted this card, because it was really for rewards. But if the rewards sound good to you, 5% back on gas, things like that, the Plus membership might make sense overall. There's a lot of good benefits, but again, that's a different video. I have that too. And again, you will need a membership to apply for this card. My recommendation is doing everything at the same time. Start your business, get your net 30s, build your website out. I know it sounds like a lot, but really it's very easy. Shopify makes it easy to make that quick website. Everything's fairly easy when you're doing it. You can do it all in one day, knock it out. And then after that, you just wait 30 days. And to be honest, all of this will also get you qualified for the Verizon phone with no credit check. So if you want to get your, if you're doing this anyway, you might as well go ahead and get your phone with Verizon with their business credit. With their business account as well. You might as well just do that. All right, it is time to apply. If you've done all the steps in this video, I know it's been a long video, but I wanted to make sure, because I know when it comes to business credit cards, some people will tell you there are no credit cards that you can get without a personal guarantee. Some people lead you to believe that there are many options without a personal guarantee. In my personal experience, there are some credit cards that you can get without a personal guarantee. But usually those cards require you to have a certain amount of money in the bank in order to be able to get them. This one does not require that. From my research, this is like the only real credit card that you could get with no PG, with a wonderful limit, and a lot of benefits. So it's time to apply. You used to have to print out your application and go down to Sam's Club, stand in line and apply there. You can still do that, but you no longer have to. You can actually do it online now. You don't have to go inside of Sam's Club. So let's go to samsclub.com. So now we are on samsclub.com. If you are already a member, you're familiar with the website. If not, then you can sign up. And then once you sign up, we are going to go to Sam's Club Credit. Once you go to Sam's Club Credit, you're going to see this. It's going to show Sam's Club plus member, plus members can earn 5% back at Sam's Club, how it works. And again, it's only going to be the black card if you signed up for the Sam's Club Plus membership. I don't think that having a plus membership or a regular membership affects whether or not you qualify for this card. There's just a few more additional perks that you get when you do sign up as a plus member. But since we're a business, we're going to scroll down to the bottom. Right here, it says own a business. Apply for Sam's Club business credit card. All right, so we're going to go to apply now. All right, so when you go to apply now, it's going to automatically enter your membership number. And then after that, you're just going to enter in your business information, your federal tax ID, your business address. You're going to enter all your information. Then you're going to enter your applicant information. So first name, last name. There's going to be an option that asks you to personally guarantee it. You're going to skip that. Don't add your social at all to this application. Do not add your social at all. It's going to show you where doing a social or doing a personal credit check is optional. You don't have to do it. You're going to go through the options, agree to add in everything, agree to the terms and conditions, and you will get your results. Now, there's a good chance that when you get your results, they are going to ask you to call them, and you're going to speak with Synchrony Bank. When you get on the phone with Synchrony Bank, they're probably going to ask you for it's going to be like a rec number. They're going to ask you for, or a reference number. They're going to ask you for that. It should be on the screen. You provide them with that reference number. They're going to ask you a couple of questions about your business, your address, your name. They're going to confirm that with you. Just make sure that you answer it all accurately. They're going to ask for your EIN number, all of that good stuff. Once they ask you for all of that, they're going to put you on a brief hold. In my experience, they usually try to call your business, and then they're going to be on the back end verifying information. Now, if you don't get a phone call, that's okay. They're just probably on the back end just verifying all the information is correct. Now, if your business was structured properly, we did everything in this video. We follow all the exact steps. Then congratulations, you should be approved for either the store card or the Mastercard. Now, your initial limit will probably be $8,000. That was my starting limit, and I was approved for the store card for my first business. For my first business, when I was approved for the store card, I used it very actively to make very large purchases. Now, I did make large purchases because I was using it to buy inventory, so I was making money, then paying it back. I was making my money within 30 days. I think that's now, in hindsight, very risky. I don't recommend that you do that, but that's just what I did. Once you use it for about 90 days since it opened, you can request a credit line increase within the app. I suggest that you do that. When I did that, I raised my credit line from 8,000 all the way to around 13, 14,000. And then a few months later, 3 months later, I raised it to 20,000. Once that was done, I then reapplied inside of Sam's Club for the Mastercard, and I was approved for the Mastercard. Same thing, 8,000 limit. Did the same thing, repeated the process, and had a $20,000 business credit card. Now, since then, starting my new business and getting these other credit cards, I did dissolve that business, my original one that I had, and I no longer have that credit card, but I do have my credit card with Sam's Club for my new business now. All right. And that one I did personally guarantee because I wanted to basically skip the steps of doing the structuring. I skipped the steps. Well, I didn't have to skip it because either way, what's funny enough, the first time I applied, even with great credit, I got denied. I got denied because my information wasn't accurate. I had to go back and update it. So, even with good credit, you still want to make sure at the very least that they can verify your business and that everything's up to par, even if you want to get approved with great credit. So go figure, right? Anyway, I hope that this was the most comprehensive guide that you have gotten to getting the Sam's Club Business Mastercard, with no personal guarantee. I think this is going to be the best step-by-step guide that you're going to find on YouTube. Hopefully, I answered every question. If you have any additional questions for me, please drop them in the comment section. I will answer them as fast as possible. I am leaving links to HostGator, to Shopify, to Shirtsy, to Novo. I'm going to leave links to all of the things that I use to set up my business, to Alliance Virtual Office. And again, if you guys want to look at other options, I have plenty of videos now that you can check about structuring, about other Net30 accounts that you could potentially use. And I have also more information about, virtual mailboxes and virtual offices, the difference between a virtual mailbox and a virtual office. And then, you'll see the difference in cost there as well as you do your research and your due diligence. My suggestion is to go back, watch previous videos, come up with the outline plan, pick the ones that you're going to get, know how many you're going to report, and then in one day, start your business, get your, start your website, get your Net30s, all in the same day, get your DUNS number, get everything done, and then get your Sam's Club membership, wait 30 days. For my new business, I would say at 30 days, I only had 2 trade lines report. And it's funny, like almost with 2 trade lines, I was able to get my Verizon account. And then I want to say 3 days after that, then 2 or 3 more popped up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, so 30, 35, 36, roughly, let's say let's say 45 to 60 at the most. And you'll probably have everything reporting and you're good to go. Okay. Hopefully you'll get this on the first try. If not, even with 2 months, you're better than me. It took you half the time. And this is just what I learned applying for this card and getting this card on 3 different occasions. And even though it took a lot of time. So thank you if you watch this video all the way through. I appreciate you guys that actually can tolerate watching these videos all the way through. I know they're extensive, but I don't want to have to break it into parts and make you have to watch multiple videos to provide information that I could have provided in one video. It doesn't make sense to me to do that to anybody. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for tolerating the long video. Did your business use an additional $25,000? Are you a member of Navy Federal? If so, this is the perfect video for you because I'm going to show you not just data points, step by step how you can get approved for this card and how I got approved for this card. So join me on the computer and I'm going to show you step by step how to get approved for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards card in 2024. Now, for full transparency, I was approved for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards card and I was approved for $15,000. I do plan on submitting a request for a credit line increase within the next 91 days. I believe you can do it within 30 days, but I'm just going to wait the 91. That way I can get some usage out of it before I make that request. So I'm just going to probably put like on the screen somewhere the approval. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do in order to qualify for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards Card is set up an account with Navy Federal. If you are not a member and you would like me to make a video on other ways that you can become a member, then I will do that as well. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see. Now, I received an access code from one of my friends who allowed me to become a member. Once I did that, the first thing I did was open up a easy checking account, a flagship checking account, a savings account. After I made these 3 accounts, the very next thing that I did was get a in-reward secured card. And then I also got the pledge loan for $501. If you do $501, then you can have the pledge loan for 12 months. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying there are different ways to approach getting this card depending on where you are in your credit repair journey or if you have prime credit. So in my instance, when I first started with Navy Federal, I was rebuilding credit. I had a lot of charge-offs, a lot of collections. My credit score was sub 600, so somewhere in the 500s. So if this sounds like your situation, I'm going to give you the steps that I took in that situation. If you have a fair credit score, but you don't have any derogatory marks, I'll give you that scenario. And if you have prime credit, I'll give you that scenario. So let's just start with what I originally started with. I started with easy checking, flagship, savings, in rewards, secured card. And I also started with the pledge loan, $501. You can pretty much do this all within like a 2 or 3 day time span. So I wouldn't even overthink it. With this, I'm going to be under the assumption that you are already a member as we're doing this. So let's go under the guise that you're already a member with Navy Federal or you have the ability to become one at this moment. All right. If you have subprime credit, I will follow those steps that I took. If you have fair credit, like you're below a 650, but you're probably above like a 630 and you have no derogatory marks, I would still do everything I just said, but I would change one thing. Sorry, I'm going to just go right here. So this was the in reward secure card. When I got this card, I got it because I went to pre-qualify and I could not get any other credit card. I would go to the pre-qualify me section on Navy Federal before you get the in rewards card. Check if they pre-qualify you for any other credit card. I now have a cash rewards card. I now have a Go rewards card. I received both of those cards prior to me getting the business credit card. So if you're fair credit, no derogatory marks, no collections, no anything like that, and you're above a 630, right around that range, go to the pre-qualify me section and have them pre-qualify you for something else. You may get a cash rewards card. You may get something else. Go rewards. You may get something else. If you get that, cool. Get that card instead of the in reward secure card and do the pledge loan. Same checking accounts, same savings account. If you have prime credit, a lot of this won't apply to you. If you're a 750 or above, I would just open an account with Navy Federal. I would still do the flagship checking account. I would still do the savings account. You don't necessarily need to do the credit card or the pledge loan. The more products you have, the more you build up your internal score. But with a score like that, you don't need to do it. I don't see that as being something that you need to do. Would it hurt? No, but not necessarily anything that's, I would recommend for you. You don't have to do that. Now with the secured card, I did the deposit of $200. It was very, very easy. I put it in my savings account. I called Navy Federal. They went ahead and took it from my savings. And then that was my credit line. With the pledge loan, I put $501 in my savings account. They take it from your savings account and then they put it back into your checking. You get the money back, but then you'll also see the pledge loan. I paid 90% of that loan. So I paid about $450. And when you pay it, they put the money back into your account again. So a pledge loan is really just you transferring funds around. You don't really have to worry about that. You could even use the same money from the pledge loan, do the pledge loan, pay the $450 on 501, and then take 200 from that and use that for the secure card. You could just move the money around and shuffle it and do the same thing. You only get the money back for the In Reward secure card. You only get that back after 6 months at least. I think they can graduate you earlier. It took me 1 year to graduate. Now, these are just some prerequisites that I'm recommending because I know everyone's at a different point in their situation with trying to get this business credit card. So I just want to make sure I touch everybody. Okay. I hate to always deviate from the point, but I just want to tell you, this is what I did. This is exactly what I did. After I did all of this and set up these Navy Federal products, the next thing I did was open up a business membership. So become a business member and get started. This process for me was very, very easy. You want to gather all your information before you start the business membership application. When you start the application, they're going to ask you for some documents. Let's actually go to this, and we'll go to right here to our business solution facts. So what documentation do I need to submit with my application? So for business, the business solutions require your structure for your business. For me, it was my business license. I went to irs.gov and got my EIN number. So if you're familiar with creating a business and filing that information with the Secretary of State, you need to get a EIN number. You have to get a business license. And then they say that you need a certificate of good standing. But for the state that I'm in, I just went to my Secretary of State website, search for my business, and screenshot it as my certificate of good standing. It shows that the business is active. So the documents, they vary by the business type. I never create LLCs. I only create corporations. That's just my preference. So if you have a corporation, they want the good standing certificate filed, stamped within 60 days before date of application. Again, I just did a screenshot from my Secretary of State website. It showed that my business was valid. You're going to need your federal tax ID. When you start a business, you should already have this and you'll have those documents. The beneficial owner form. If you're the 100% owner of this, then just yourself. And the fictitious name certificate is if you had it, that's just if it's applicable. I didn't even need that. Now, I would say the most common business that people use is probably an LLC. So for LLC, certificate of good standing, again, with your state, it depends. I went to the Secretary of State website, screenshot, your federal tax ID, and then the beneficial owner. So same documentation you would need for a corporation, and then so on and so forth. You guys could take a look at this and see where you would fall under your particular business type. And then this is what you would want to do. And it tells you some information about what a beneficial owner is. How does Navy Federal collect this information? So you can go here and read through. Once I collected all this information, they're going to have you start a to-do list where you're going to be uploading all this information. You're going to upload all this information. It's fairly easy, guys, super quick. Once that information is uploaded, you're going to call this number, 1-877-418-1462, within 2 business days after you've uploaded your documents. Now, I do a lot of research. I've seen videos where some people said that it took them, you should wait 30 days before you apply for the business account. Just so you know, I did mine within 2 days. I opened up my account with Navy Federal, right? I did everything that I told you about, the pledge loan, the in reward, the secure card. And then I set up my direct deposit, of course, for Navy Federal. And then right after that, I did this online and I submitted all my documentation. The phone call is about 1 hour. So right here, it lets you know, review your application and documents with our representatives. Please be mindful that the review process can take an hour. So that review process is as follows. They will ask you for your NACIS code, or you may know it as like the SIC code, your business type. I had a website. They asked me for the website. They reviewed the website. They wanted to know what my business did, how we made profit. You know, they just want to check your business address. They're going to ask you if it's a virtual address. They said that that's okay. So all this was done. It took about 1 hour, just like they're saying here. And you need to be prepared to fund your business membership. So the minimum amount required to open your account will be $250 to $255. And this amount should be available for transfer from your personal Navy Federal account through a non-Navy Federal debit or credit card. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. It doesn't take long to apply for this account. Again, you could do this all within like 2 or 3 days. If you have Prime credit 750 or above, you can open your checking account, your savings account. I recommend all three: the easy, the flagship, and the savings. And then you can go ahead, wait for your online account to be active. And then you can go to this page, business membership, get started, follow these steps to start an application, right? You're going to just go to start the application. And when you go to start the application, you have to sign. When you go to start the application, you have to sign into the Business Solutions portal in order for you to even see it. But what'll happen is you sign into your personal account, you go to start the application, and then it's going to bring you to the Solutions portal. And then once you get to the portal, that's when it's going to ask you to upload all the documentation that we just went over. All right. So just so that I can bring everything back together. At this point, subprime people, the people who are rebuilding, we've gotten that secure card, we've gotten that checking savings account, we've gotten that pledge loan. Our mid-tier people, fair credit people with no collections and no derogatory marks. You're going to do the same thing, but you're going to pre-qualify for a different credit card just in case you can get the cash rewards or the go rewards and save yourself that secure deposit. And for our prime people, you just set up the checking accounts, the savings, and then you can go right on ahead to this step. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when I originally joined Navy Federal, I applied for this credit card before. I had just gotten my credit score to a 600, right around that range. And I still had derogatory marks. I still had collections and charge-offs. I applied for this card. They pull from your Experian credit score. Personal TransUnion credit cards pull. Personal credit cards from Navy Federal pull from TransUnion. The business pulls from Experian. Just keep that in mind. When I did it, I was denied. When I was denied, I received a response telling me I had too many delinquent accounts. So that's why I'm saying it's not that you wouldn't qualify if you have those delinquent accounts, but you're going to have to do more relationship building first. That's why for you guys, I recommend the pledge loan. That's why for you guys, I recommend the in rewards card, direct deposit. And then I would even set up a direct deposit for your business account. Even if it's just $25 every 2 weeks, I would just put some money in there. You do that for 6 months, improve your credit score, and then you can go back and take a look and see if you can qualify. Now, in my case, I don't know if you can qualify if you have any derogatory marks. I do know that with Navy Federal, it's all about relationship building. That's one of the major keys. So if you have improved your credit score enough and you've also gotten these products with them, it will just increase your chances of getting qualified for this credit card. At the time that I qualified for this business credit card, I had no derogatory marks. I had no collections, and my credit score was a 762. So I just want to have you guys keep that in mind. So once you've started that business account, This is the GoBiz Rewards credit card, right? Once you started it, you can start the application here. So before I go on, I'm going to tell you a few data points about my personal business. Again, it was a corporation. When I applied for this card the first time, my corporation was only open for around 8 months. When I applied for it the second time, my corporation was open around 1 year and 7 months. And I believe I did this on February the 6th of 2024. So I just got this account. This is fairly new. Now, I will say for this card, I received the 14.4% APR variable. There is no annual fee. It's a 1x point per dollar spent. So for people who have a lot of other business credit cards, this is not the greatest rewards card. But hey, if you need funding, it's good to get started. This card is available in a Visa or a Mastercard. Once you go to the start an application point, you will be given the option of choosing between a Visa or a Mastercard. There is no earnings cap on this card. But again, it's basically 1 point per dollar spent. So it's like 1%. So it's not the best rewards, but it's better than nothing. There's no foreign transaction fees. It's great for travel and expenses, and zero liability policy for unauthorized charges. Okay. So I did get approved for the Mastercard. That's the one that I chose. My business again opened 1 year and 7 months. I did build some business credit, but I don't think that was an important factor when it came to qualifying for this card. I think the two most important factors is having a fair credit score. I had less than 3 inquiries, only 2 inquiries at the time. And I'm sorry, I had 1 inquiry at the time, only 1. But I would say 3 or less would actually be good. I would say have at least a 680 credit score without a relationship. If you have below a 680, then I would say build the relationship first, especially if you have collections or derogatory marks. You definitely want to build that relationship with them first. Other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward. And that's really all that I had with a business. I believe you could get this card with a brand new business as long as it's structured properly. When I say structured, I mean you have a website, you have a Google profile where this business can be found. You get your number in the white pages and yellow pages online. Believe me, that still matters. You have a business number for this line. You have a virtual address. I actually started doing a course on starting a business, and I'm going to be starting a new business within the next probably 4 weeks. When I start this new business, I'm going to document the entire process, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put it on YouTube or if it's going to be like a course that you can get from my website, successwithstevensmith.com. So just keep an eye out for that. But I'm going to be doing a lot more videos when it comes to business credit cards and getting business funding. So this is the first of many more to come. So let's go to start the application. And we're going to go to single owner unless you're a multi-owner business, but I'm a single owner business. So I'm going to sign in to apply here. I was able to sign in with ease, so that is good. Right now I have the screen like covered slightly because I'm concealing my business name, but this was the process. The process was application, underwriting, it was approval, closing, and then booked. So it lets you know application, you completed the loan application, it's been received, and monitor your to-do list, right? Underwriting, review of the application and supporting documentation. The loan will be decisioned once it's determined that the application is complete. Approval, closing, and booked. So this is the process. I applied on February the 6th. I was approved on February the 9th. And I was able to see the account in my online business portal on February the 12th. And on February 13th, the account was booked, and then it showed booked and closed by the 13th. All right. So the entire process was, I would say 7 days. It could probably take 7 to 10 days. But for me, 5-6 days, really. Not, with the weekend. So I did start a process that I was going to show you guys, and I didn't want to go much further. So it's an incomplete application that's going to expire within 48 hours. Now it's showing my business information here, so I'm going to have to conceal that. But and I'm not going to go any further because at some point they do the hard inquiry and my information just seems to auto populate. So I'm not going to go any further than this, but this is the business visa application. I already have the Mastercard, so this is the Visa one. So card application, your business, where they're just going to ask for your business details. It's going to auto populate right here. Again, I'm probably have this concealed right now. I can see it, but you'll see your business information. Then the electronic communications, they just some information that they're going to want you to confirm. Beneficial ownership, that's when you're going to put if you're 100% or if this business is split between two different owners. Your card information. They're just going to ask you where do you want the card sent to, and it'll probably be, I think it only gives you the option for the address on file, which should be your business address. Your personal income and housing, that's where they're going to ask you for how much money you make as an individual and your housing expenses. Now for the amount that I put, it was over 100,000. But again, I'm not sure if that actually is applicable. It just depends. But you can also do like, under 100. I would just put what your personal income is, because I really don't know any data points that it would be for that. But I'm just telling you, for me, I put above 100,000 for the personal income. For your business income, they're going to ask you if your business makes less than $1 million per year. And if you fall into that category, then that's what you're going to choose. And and your certifications and disclosures, again, some things that they're going to get you to confirm. Your certification of organization, that's where they're just going to confirm that your business is in good standing, and you just confirm that information. You're going to have an electronic signature with your first name, last name, and I believe your initials. You're going to review and then submit. After that next step, basically it's the process that we had discussed before, which is you have to wait for it to go through that status of application, underwriting, approval, and then that booking one. So we're going to go through that process. Again, it should take about, for me, it was like 3 days to know that I was approved. It took about 5 to 6 days to actually see the account on my online portal. And it took about 7 days for that account to be completely, that whole entire application to be booked, which it's now online and it's completely closed and we're done. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you're a member of Navy Federal and you have this card or you recently applied for this card, please put that down in the comments. Let me know what you were approved for. For me, again, I was approved for 15,000. And that was with a, again, 762 credit score, no derogatory marks, no collections, no charge-offs. And I only had one inquiry at the time that I applied, and my business was open for 1 year and 7 months. Again, I don't think that's applicable. I just think your business needs to be structured, which if you were able to get the business checking account, then I believe that your business is structured. And I think that that's all you need, man. If you have a decent credit score, 680 or above, you're good to go. Below that, with no derogatory marks, like below a 680, but maybe like that 630 to like 660 range, I would just get a couple products and then I would go and apply. And if you are subprime with the credit, I would get the In Rewards card, and then I would get the pledge loan, and I would make some deposits, wait until your credit is cleaned up a bit, maybe wait 6 months, and then go apply for the card. Worst case scenario, I have a video that you've probably seen of how to remove the hard inquiries. This credit card does not show up on your personal credit. It doesn't show up on your business credit. Some people don't like that. for me and what I do with credit, that's perfect because the utilization doesn't get reported. So it won't affect you if you used 80% of the credit balance. It won't affect your business credit. So for me, I don't see that as a problem. In fact, that's the reason why I got the card in the first place. I don't see any advantage of the rewards for this card. There are much better cards with rewards. American Express has a lot of good cards. Chase has better business cards, but just the fact that it doesn't report on your business credit or your personal credit was an advantage to me to have that extra 25,000. I mean, I think, well, 15,000, but I'll get to 25. But to me, that was an advantage. I thought that was actually a pretty good thing. I'm trying to think other than that, if there was if there was anything else that we need to go through. But I think that is everything. So if you guys have any additional questions, if I missed anything, if you think that there was some step that you maybe I overlooked, please let me know in the comments so that I can clarify anything for you, or any other questions that you have. You guys know I'm very responsive. I'll answer as many questions as possible. Usually I'm doing some work in between, but if you email me, if you leave a comment, if you DM me, I usually respond fast. I think my fastest responses will come from the comments more than it'll come from any other medium. So please leave a comment, like and share and subscribe. And I want to see you guys get $25,000 in business funding, please. So start these applications, start the process, and I want to see it. Let me know. Thank you for everything, and you guys have a wonderful day.